traditional navy blue jersey as for the second consecutive year and the third time all time, it's Syracuse and Central Michigan. And with James Bates, Wes Durham, Jen Hildreth will join us in just a moment. Welcome to ACC football. The season started on an ominous note for the Orange of Scott Schaefer. Starting quarterback Terrell Hunt hurt early in the opening win against Rhode Island. And it's been a young guy who's taken the reins for him, James.
Oh, this poor offense. They go through 4 starting quarterbacks last year. So here comes the new guy, a true freshman, Dungy from Oregon. What are you going to get out of him? Well, just what you needed. 6'3", 202 pounds. And Eric, he can make all the throws, not just a couple. He can tuck it and go. He's from right outside of Tracktown, USA, so he's got to be able to run. But I think most importantly, when you look at his numbers, is he's smart and he's calm. He doesn't play like a freshman out there from the shoulders up, and that shows with 0 interceptions up against the 4 touchdowns.
Well, he's supported by a defense that's back on the scene. Chuck Bulla, the defensive coordinator, has got a group that not only can make plays, they can make scoring plays.
That guy's all about the defense. Just like in his playing days, a great linebacker at Michigan State, runner-up for the Buckus Award, loves to blitz. Expect him to blitz about 70% of the time, but he doesn't just blitz to get sacks. His guys told me yesterday that Coach Bulla always tells us, he says a sack will chip hat on the back, but a turnover, that'll turn a game around, and that's what he wants, his turnovers. 7 they've created so far already this season, and that leads to the country. It's working right now.
Well, defensive end Donnie Simmons had a pick 6 in the win over Wake Forest last week, and as we join Jen Hildreth, Central Michigan comes to this ball game at 1-1, but the games are kept in real perspective by their head coach, Jen.
Yeah, you simply cannot tell the story of the Central Michigan team without mention of the heartbreak and inspiration that it draws from the passing of a teammate, and yes, the undeniable passion and perseverance of its new head coach. Now, Coach John Bonamigo will tell you, as he did us yesterday, he would not want you to compare his battle to cancer to that of Derek Nash, the freshman running back who passed away over the summer after a 2-year battle with leukemia. But Nash's presence is felt all over this team, from the mural in the team locker room to the number 21 decals on the helmets to the number 21 jersey, his jersey, which is now awarded to a player each week. Sophomore defensive back Josh Cox wearing it for this game. But for Coach Bonamigo, this is a guy who was diagnosed with tonsil cancer just a couple of months after accepting his dream job at his alma mater. So he spent his summer undergoing chemotherapy and radiation, and fellas, never missed a practice. So you don't have to look far to see where this team draws its inspiration.
Jen, it's an unbelievable story. We'll get to more of it as our game unfolds today, and it really does define the Chippewas as we turn to our 4 keys to the game, Batesy.
Well, for Central Michigan, quick chips, what I mean by that is start fast. They have to. Look at Syracuse in game 1 here against Rhode Island. 5 minutes into the game, they had already forced 3 turnovers last year at Central Michigan. Central Michigan didn't start fast. They were sloppy early, and they never got their feet back underneath them. For Syracuse, well, no pulp for the Orange. Nice and smooth. They want everything to get clicking here today. Move to 3-0 West for the first time since 1991, and they've got big bad LSU come to town next weekend. But first things first, they've got to take care of a tough MAC team today.
The Orange won the toss, have elected to defer. And Spalding will be deep to return. Devin Spalding is a sophomore, Westland, Michigan, and this will be his first kick return of the year. They're using the bigger Spalding, 203 pounds, rather than the 160-pound true freshman Emmett Thomas on these kick returns because of, as we were told, Syracuse physical presence on special teams. Ryan Norton will kick it away for the Orange. And away we go from the Carrier Dome. And Spalding will bring it out near side. Wow, what a collision at about the 20-yard line with Spalding and also Kleinberg, Kyle Kleinberg. And here's Cooper Rush and the Chips last year in that ball game at Mount Pleasant.
Well, an up-and-down regular season for the now junior West, and this was one of the down games. Not the best of games. 5 times he was sacked against Syracuse. Bulla's defense got after him. But you better believe he can go off if you let him. 28 of 45, 493 yards and 7 touchdowns is all in the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl at season's end.
So here's Rush with Spalding in the backfield and dumps it to his back on first down. Maybe a yard before Paris Bennett sophomore linebacker, over to make the play. And here are the Toyota impact players for the Chips.
Well, a couple young guys, new starters up front, a couple sophomores, so it'll be extra important for Nick Beamish, the center, the captain, in the middle. And Martez Walker, they have to get a run game going. Only 76 yards total on the ground in their first 2 games.
On the give. And hemmed up right away is Spalding. Chris Slayton, the redshirt freshman, first guy for Syracuse to get there. And a quick look at Chuck Bulla's Toyota impact play.
If guys like Slayton keep penetrating and holding up those linemen, Marquise Hodge and company, Franklin and Bennett are going to have a huge day. And Corey Winfield, just a sophomore, moved over from wide receiver. Great athlete, and he's showing it on the defensive side now. Back-to-back interceptions in the first 2 games of this season. They have another chance here on 3rd and long.
Tight end is McCord off the formation. Rush to throw with 3 other receivers in the pattern, and it's McCord. A big ball game last week in the win over Monmouth, near a first down. And he'll be a yard shy. Knocked out of bounds by Hodge, the linebacker who you spoke of a moment ago. And John Bonamigo's team will punt it away here.
Well, I like the call by Bulla because everybody in the house thinking blitz. They walk them up and back them out and only bring 3. But it gets interesting because guys don't break on the ball quick enough. There's actually a good late block by a receiver there you see coming across. I think it was Kroll, and a nice effort by McCord, but just a yard shy and a nice tackle by Hodge.
Grizzly Esteem already has a touchdown on a punt return this year against Rhode Island. He'll take the punt from Calusi. Esteem off the 17, circling here to the near side. 25, marker thrown 30, and Esteem sets sail. There is a flag as Grizzly cuts it across midfield, needs a block. Got it from Thompson. And Esteem knocked out of bounds at the 10, but I think it's coming back. His return for the score was 74 yards against Rhode Island. This one would have been in that neighborhood, maybe a touch more, but I believe it's coming back on a block in the back.
It was right away, and it was a late flag, but only because the official, he swung about 3 or 4 times, couldn't get it out of his pocket.
53-yard punt.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 8. 10-yard penalty. It'll be Syracuse ball. 1st and 10.
There it is right there. You see, get another look at it maybe. And it takes away Esteem, who's been a great returner so far this season. The junior from Deerfield Beach was 88 and out the gate. And now they go all the way back to their own 11.
And we get a look. Here is the true freshman, the former Lake Ridge High School Pacer, Eric Dungy. Lake Oswego, Oregon. First play, and it's dropped by Kendall Moore, the tight end.
Guys, right off the bat, got to take care of them. Here they set up a nice-looking play, crossing route underneath, make it a nice, easy completion. You know, still a freshman, even though he's had some success against Rhode Island. He's had some success against Wake Forest. He's still a freshman at the end of the day, and you have to kind of get him into that rhythm, but his teammates have to help him out there. Instead, it's 2nd down and 10.
Demonte McFarland is the back. Ben Lewis, you see in motion, kind of the H-back or express back in Tim Lester's offense. And there's McFarland for maybe a couple yards toward the 13. And Schaefer Johnson the play, and the Toyota impact players for the Orange.
Well, Grizzly Esteem showing you why he's an impact player, not just on offense as a receiver, but on special teams. Unfortunately called back, and Ben Lewis is a smart football guy, and he needs to be, because they need him to do a whole lot. You'll see number 84 lined up in the backfield at tight end and split out as well.
Syracuse under 43% on 3rd down. Central Michigan 3rd best already through 2 games in the MAC, and there's a ball for Lewis, and defended well by Josh Cox, the corner on the far side. And there's a look at Cox, who's wearing the 21 of the late Derek Nash today.
Good job by Cox to snap that head around. He may have gotten flagged if he wasn't looking for it. A couple seniors leading the show defensively. Tim Hamilton has waited his turn, had 4 starts last year. He's the glue there in the middle. And Kayvon Frazier, he's the leading tackler on this defense, and he's going to need a whole lot of those today because they're not asking the corners to do much against the run game. And this is a team now in Tim Lester He has triple option.
Riley Dixon's first punt of the day toward the freshman from down in South Georgia, Emmett Thomas. And that ball will be touched up around the 35, 36-yard line. And that's where Central Michigan's second possession will begin. Each school's had it once. Both have gone 3 and out. Back to Syracuse after this.
CPI Security, your local Ford dealer. And FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football.
Well, right outside the Carrier Dome, the statue of the great Ernie Davis, and of course the orange tradition now. Scott Schaefer's team walks through the middle of the campus, touches that statue, and on into the dome for the ball game. Central Michigan starts at its 42. The ball was deflected off a Syracuse punt cover guy on the way up, and here's Spalding first carry. Pretty good run, almost 9 full yards across midfield to the 49. And Antoine Cordy out of the secondary for the Orange with the stop on Devin Spalding.
That's what he does, averaging 5.1 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns last year. And whether it's Spalding or Walker, they're going to need a whole lot of this here today. Because if this defense pins its ears back, knowing that it's a one-dimensional Cooper Rush that can throw it around, they're in trouble. Got to balance it a little bit.
That's Conklin in motion, and here is Rush to throw. Dumps it to Spalding. And Central Michigan will have the first down. Thompson across the field to knock him out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Big Ron Thompson moved from inside to the defensive end spot. Redshirt junior this year, and has really supplied some nice pressure for Chuck Bullock.
But Ron Thompson, this is a good call, and Ron Thompson's a perfect example because these screens, these draws, they'll slow down a hard rushing defensive line, and they'll tire them out. It's hot and humid inside the dome here this afternoon, and that's just what you need to do, to slow those big guys down a little bit. Thompson's still trying to get into shape as he missed a lot of camp with injuries.
Pistol set, Spalding on first down. And he'll pick up about 5 toward the 37, 36-yard line. James, so far, Morris Watts, a longtime offensive coordinator in college football with John Bonamigo, he's committed to running the ball here early and also taking some pressure off his passer as well.
Well, he has to, because the one thing I've noticed watching Syracuse, those linebackers are so active, and they're such good playmakers against the run. Sometimes they're a little bit too anxious, and they'll bite hard on that play fake you saw a couple times against Wake Forest. But if you can't establish a run, who cares? Nobody's going to bite on a run fake if you're not running it. But when you gain 5, 6 yards of carry, they're going to have to pay attention.
Bocci, the big fullback, here ahead of Robertson. And there's the throw, and it's caught. And this is Kroll into the red zone on the second possession for the Chippewas at the 17-yard line. Jesse Kroll, the redshirt senior from Wisconsin.
And this is what I'm talking about right here, Wes. Here's a play fake. You got eye backs. You haven't seen much of that this year. Watch the linebackers. Instead of being able to be in that window, they're going to bite up hard on this run. Step up. It pauses them just enough to bring somebody in right behind them. The window that's vacated because you freeze those linebackers gives you an easy first down. That's a nice throw and catch all day long for a guy like Cooper Rush.
So the 225-pound Robertson still stays at the tail of the eye here. 19-yard throw to Kroll has moved Central Michigan into the red zone on their second possession. And Robertson gets bent back right away by the front. Luke Arciniega makes the play for the Orange there. Coming off his defensive end spot.
That Q's defense thought they had it. They thought they had turnover number 8, trying to add on to the tops in the nation. And a good job, Wes, by Arciniega to, it's usually you get yourself in trouble trying to run around blocks.
Yep.
But if that big puller is that slow getting there, you can afford to do it. But you better be careful, because if you run by, he'll just let you use your own momentum, and then you've got a huge gap.
4 receivers to choose from. Rush to throw, shoots it to the end zone, and caught and dropped. That was Anthony Rice, the 6-foot redshirt junior, Mishawaka, Indiana, who had 9 catches coming into the ball game here today, number 2 behind Chapman, who's yet to pull one in. So now it's 3rd and 10, James.
Good job recovering and going. A little bit too much air under there. He had Rice open in the corner, but he couldn't zip it quick enough. Coach Bono's team would have had the first strike. Now it's 3rd down and 10.
2 receivers to either side. Spalding in the backfield with Rush. Orange trying to get their rush offline, intended for Chapman. Rodney Williams, the free safety, was closest guy there. And now that will bring Brian Evie on to try the field goal. A year ago, Evie's longest field goal, 43 yards against Western Michigan. His longest this year, 31 against Oklahoma State. And this will be 38 yards to try and give, or 34 yards to try and give Central Michigan the lead.
Just earned a scholarship, did Evie, from the walk-on.
And the kick is good. Second possession produces 3 points for John Bonamigos Chippewas. 3-0 Central Michigan. Well, Central Michigan, as they did a year ago in the meeting at Mount Pleasant, took a 3-0 lead on Syracuse. Orange scored 40 in a row, and now OC Tim Lester and his young freshman quarterback get ready to go back to work here, James.
All those 40 points. It was, you know, this is Tim Lester. You talk about Terrell Hunt, losing him. Remember, he wasn't the offensive coordinator at the beginning of last season. He stepped in just a few games in, finally has his system in with this new quarterback.
Steam off the goal line. Boy, they really collapsed on the right side there. And Holt Brisley Steam up shy of the 20, just an 18-yard return. Trevor Apsey, backup at linebacker, led the way for the Chips.
Well, Coach Bono said that's more like it. You know, special teams is where he buttered his bread forever in the NFL. Great special teams coach, and he's got him covering on that kickoff. He dodged a bullet on the flag on the punt return.
So here's young Dungy now. He's got McFarland as running back. Eric's missed on his first 2 passes so far in the ball game. Here comes a little option pitch, and McFarland working to the far side. And over the 25, out near a first down at the 28 before Nathan Ricketts, who only played 21 games in his last 2 years for the Chippewas, makes a stop.
Well, this wasn't the plan so much when you had Terrell Hunt in there, but a lot of option game. When you've got a quarterback in high school that ran for 41 touchdowns, and you look at Tim Lester, back in his days at Elmhurst, they ran a lot of option, a lot of triple option. So Central Michigan knows it's coming.
Here's McFarland again, first down to the 34. Well, James, a little bit like we're talking about with Syracuse defensively, Central Michigan's got to be careful here. They don't load up on the young freshman, right? Because he can burn them through the air. We've seen that last week against Wake Forest.
Absolutely. It's just like, take Georgia Tech, a triple option. When one thing works on a defense, it feels like now they're all working against us. And when you can establish a run, which is what Tim Lester has always set out to do. I went back and read a lot of his clips from when he was hired as the offensive coordinator. He wants to be a run-first offense, period. And that wasn't what they were set up for last year, but they're trying to get there now.
Before the ball was snapped, false start, offense, number 57, 5-yard penalty, first down.
The right tackle, Amari Parker, will cost the Orange 5, and that's the voice of the referee, Mark Klosinski. This is a Mid-American Conference crew here today at the Carrier Dome in this intersectional game. So rather than being 1st and 10, it's 1st and 15 back at the 29. And by the way, Jordan Fredericks, the talented freshman who leads Syracuse in rushing, has come into the ball game in the pistol with Dungy. And a pitch, nicely done. Dungy gets it, and here is Esteem working around the edge. Grizzly Esteem, finally tackled by Tim Hamilton, but was able to pick up 11 yards on that play.
There it is, little triple option, running it to Esteem. And look at the read, nice read on not only the dive and the pitch, and shoot, the way Ben Lewis blocking downfield, nice cut blocker. Hey, is Georgia Tech here in the Dome today, or are they in South Bend, Indiana? We've seen those Yellow Jackets the first couple of weeks. Paul Johnson would be proud of that.
And Fredericks will stay in the ball game. Esteem comes out, 2nd down and 4. Dungy to throw. Caught by Alvin Cornelius here at the near side. The redshirt junior from Staten Island, New York, hauls it in.
That's not an easy throw. Step back and just throw it all the way across the green like that and on the money to move those chains. It's a good job by a young quarterback and his junior receiver to be on the same page. And they're working against a good one there in Josh Cox, but they'll move the sticks.
The dangerous Ishmael to the bottom of your screen here. 3-0 Central Michigan on the field goal by Evie. And a fresh set of downs for Dungey, who will keep it. Paced it away. Look at that. And here goes Fredericks. Jordan Fredericks inside the 15, fights to the 10. The young rookie flew the aircraft to the edge of the envelope there, James.
Well, and watch the cuts to begin with over here. Watch the guys going down, bodies on the ground, all the blocks picked up. And are you kidding me? That's not a true freshman that just thrown into the action. You know, most true freshmen, even if you know your second string, hey, I've got Terrell Hunt in front of me. I'm not going to play anytime soon. This guy was ready to roll. Tim Lester and company had him ready to play.
The ruling on the previous play was the player remained in bounds, was tackled near the 10-yard line. The play is under further review.
You know, Wes, he has to switch hands as he's wrapped up. He had it in that outside arm, switched hands, and still was able to pitch it. And we'll get a chance to look at it while they go review it. Good block by Ishmael to seal the wall. Switches hands and pushes it. You know, lucky that his momentum carried him forward because it might have ended up being a forward pass.
Well, the interesting part is that Mark Glazinski announced that they were looking to see if he was in bounds. He's clearly in bounds. So they are checking to see the plane of the pass, and Fredericks was behind him when he released it.
All right, here we go. This is going to be our best
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
It's a 44-yard play for Jordan Fredericks. 7 yards for Dungey, 37 yards for Fredericks. Go ahead and pick out your favorite Sooner quarterback of the 70s and 80s. I was always a Thomas Lott guy.
I was a Jamel Holloway guy.
Jamel Holloway. No J.C. Watts for you, huh?
Ask me to pick out my favorite Sooner linebacker. Brian Boswell.
Well, that was a given. McFarland in the game to spell Fredericks. And here is another option look. And Dungey keeps it in his feet and dives inside the 5 to about the 3. Bates, I'm impressed with the poise right off the bat. Athleticism was given, but the poise is impressive.
He just gives you so many options. And, you know, we haven't seen him make all these throws, but he can make them all. Here's the CPI security red zone and the red zone offense at the 6 opportunities for Syracuse, just 2 touchdowns. They certainly want to punch it in right here on 2nd down and goal.
McFarland stays in the game. 2 tight look and 2 receivers. They'll hand it to Devontae McFarland, and right in the center of that Central Michigan defense, Tim Hamilton, the linebacker, is the first guy to greet McFarland, who lost his hat. So, Jen, he'll have to come out of the ballgame for a snap.
Well, he'll come out, but how much fun has it been to watch Dungey these last few plays? He talked about, I asked him if he'd had any freshman moments his first couple of games, and he admitted that he had, trying to read the defense a little bit better. But Tim Lester said, we haven't figured out yet how to ruffle this guy. Me and Scott Shaver have tried everything. They can't get to him. So far, Central Michigan can't either.
2nd down, or 3rd down, and here's Dungey looking to throw. Cuts it loose and dribbled by Moore. Had it for a moment. Dungey cut it loose just as the heat arrived from the safety, Tony Anise. And the Orange will have to settle for a field goal.
Almost a great catch, and you're right. Talk about heat. Watch this pop. And he had to feel that pressure coming in his peripheral. Here's the pressure off the edge, Anise. Standing in there, and it's a nice drop, nice touch pass, and almost a great catch in the back of the end zone instead. Trying to tie it up now.
Sophomore place kicker, Cole Murphy from California, a 21-yard try to tie the game. And he does. So we get a timeout at the Carrier Dome. Eric Dungey and the Orange miss a chance for a touchdown, sell for a field goal to lock us up early.
Football is brought to you by the official corporate champions of the ACC, Geico, Toyota, and New York Life.
We got a beautiful day here in Central New York. mid-80 degrees, and folks have still found their way indoors here to the Carrier Dome, middle of the campus, side of the old Archibald Stadium. Built this facility back in the early 1980s, and Scott Schaefer's Orange trying to go 3-0 for the first time to start a campaign here in 24 years. And then next week, they would welcome number 13 LSU here at high noon. Chapman deep to return the kick. Norton handles the kickoffs for the Orange. And Chapman will touch a knee, and the Chippewas will play from their 25-yard line. 3-3 ball game, and Cooper Rush in Central Michigan back out there.
Well, we saw the crowd rolling in to start this 12:30 kick, and even though it's not a packed house today, which you'd like to think, number 13 coming in next week, LSU, it'll be close. It gets loud in here.
Yeah, it does.
And last week against Wake Forest, there were 2 false starts, 1 delay of game because they get cranked up a little bit. It's been nice and clean for the Chippewas offensively so far in that category.
Too tight look to the far side. They'll toss it that way with Spalding. And on first down, maybe a yard to the 26, Paris Bennett. Already an interception in this campaign, and one play behind the line holds Spalding to just a yard. And you see Devin Spalding up maybe a little gingerly out of that play. He'll go off, and onto the field will come Jeray Hayes, junior college transfer from San Francisco.
Spalding was the spark on that last drive. It ended in 3. They're going to need him out there. Hopefully he's okay.
210-pounder is Hayes. Rush to throw. And a crossing route, and that's Rice. Anthony Rice. 9 catches for an average of almost 13 yards through the first 2 games.
Nice protection up front. Plenty of time for Rush. And how about this? Nice, tight little window. You wonder if Hayes was running the right route because he's running 2 guys right in the same little 3-foot radius. You bunch up the defenders. It doesn't matter, though, when Rush can pinpoint it like that and move the sticks.
First and 10 off the 37 for the Chippewas. Rush will hand to Hayes. Shoots through. Hayes across midfield. Stiff arm on Sissom. Down to the 32, 33-yard line. Chauncey Sissom, the sophomore redshirted safety, was the only thing keeping Jeray Hayes out of the end zone there. 21-yard run on a power look here.
And not bad for the 3rd guy in there. There's Big Beamish, the center, just eating up his guy for Syracuse, and it's off to the races for Hayes. A big hug from Coach Bono as we've got a player down, but
yep.
that is exactly what they had to do, Wes. They had to come in here and run the football. They've done it so far.
Antoine Cordy down on the play for the Orange. Sophomore from Homestead, Florida. One of the two handfuls of South Florida guys on this roster for Scott Schaefer. There is 52-year-old John Bonamigo, who, James, we found out this week, and your dad, a longtime coach at the professional and college level, worked with Coach Bonamigo, I guess, in Green Bay, right?
About a decade ago.
And told your dad what a decade ago, right?
I think just about every chance. Good to see this, getting off the field okay, but every chance he got, just talked about his dream job. And his dream job was always to go back to the place where he played his college ball and really spent more time than anywhere in his life, Central Michigan. Say it all the time. Said he used to tell me all the time, James, that's where he was going. He goes, I'm so happy for him that he's back there. And just the circumstances that he's been through, everything he's had to fight through.
Yeah.
To get out there and coach in his first season back, his dream job. Just what a great man. And also good update this morning. He told me he had some scrambled eggs, which is a huge step because he's been living off that feeding tube for a long time now.
First and 10 after the run by Hayes. And that time Syracuse sorts it out pretty quick. Ted Taylor, the linebacker, comes in here to make the play, along with Stephen Clark, a big 290-pound true freshman from Arab, Alabama. So second down and full 10. Well, Morris Watts, the offensive coordinator, is going through the depth chart here pretty good, too, in this first period of play.
Cuse is high on Stephen Clark, young Alabama kid that made the play right there. Big future.
Spalding back in. Rush is rushed. And Syracuse forces the incomplete pass. It'll be third and the full 10. Thompson and Raymond were there, Jen.
Yeah, and you guys talking about Coach Bonamigo, all the fight that he has gone through, not getting his taste back yet. But you know, a moment that was really special for him was when he got to ring the bell at the University of Michigan Ann Arbor Hospital. He said he walked past that bell for his treatments 35 times, and he got to ring that when he finished. Now he says he keeps getting a little better every day. You know what would make him feel a lot better right now, though? Getting that first down.
0 of 2 of the Chippewas on third down. Rush to the gun. Loops it for Spalding. Little screen in front. First down inside the 20 and a flag thrown. Ben McCord, the tight end, got a block on Paris Bennett downfield to free Spalding to that next level. But let's see if it stands. Mark Klosinski, the referee, to tell us.
Personal foul. Clipping. Offense number 54. 15-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
Well, that's on Nick Beamish, the center. And they'll back it up for third and long again.
Wes, that's a senior captain, pick 54. Here he is right in the middle. Let's watch and see if we can see on this screen pass. What a great play call. And it's just dangerous as he dives outside of the tackle box, down into the defender's legs to chop him down. And what would have been a first down, and the Chips in business instead. Well, it's third down and forever now.
Rush again. This is Bocce, the fullback, H-back, if you will, to the 35, and the drive will cash out there. Syracuse rallied to the football. Julian Wiggum there on Big Joe Bocce, 6'1", 245 at the fullback spot.
Got to be careful, Syracuse. I go in a punt safe right here, knowing what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Don't trust Bonamigo. I beg your pardon. They're going to try to kick a field goal.
Yeah, this is Evie now, and this is 51 yards. This would be a career best for him. Off the near hash. Chapman is a wide receiver who holds. Kick is away, and it hit the right upright. Would have been good. Instead, locked up at 3. Our score stays in the final minute of this first period.
Well, Evie drills it. Would have been good from about 56. Well, the kickers will get out there and play a game before practice and see who can hit the post, and they kick about 100 balls from that distance and maybe get 1 or 2. Just a little bit more to the left, and it's 6-3. Instead, it's decent field position to start now for the Orange with 52 left here in the first quarter.
Ball at the 34. Dungy, little play action. Wide open, Ismail, the catch. Steve Ismail on the run, inside the 15, pulled down at the 3. Well, he closed the show last week on a touchdown pass against Wake Forest from Dungy, and already a little synergy between the sophomore from Miami and the young man from Oregon.
There's the triple option look. You get Amari Coleman peeking into the backfield because that triple option has burnt this defense already here in the first quarter today. And a big smile from Coach Schaefer to the sophomore receiver Ishmael, who does the damage there through the air, but has really been big blocking so far in this game.
61-yard pass play. First and goal goes the Orange. Flag on the play, and Dungy will keep and break the plane for the touchdown. Let's see if it stands. Offside is the call, I believe, against the Chippewas.
Offside. Defense number 42. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Well, you get the penalty on the Chippewas for the clip. The next play is the incomplete pass, and then all of a sudden, James, you get this to explode.
You know, it's almost like a sudden change when a team turns the football over. A lot of coaches like to go up top and try with the big hitter. They give them an option look. Instead, Dungy finds Ishmael, and then doing the rest down on the goal line.
4-yard touchdown run for the freshman, his first rushing score. And now it's a 10-3 game here late in this first period. Well, already a busy week in the ACC, and it got started Thursday night. Tigers a little sluggish, and Louisville matched them. Leggett a big touchdown pass, ends up probably being the difference. Dabo Swinney happy, and then last night, James, just rock'em sock'em football, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dabo doing the whip. I want to see the nay-nay. And you know what? Hey, if you're Florida State and you're Clemson, you'll take those wins, and you certainly will take win number 3 on the season for number 14, Georgia Tech. If you're a Jacket fan, if you're just an ACC fan, look at that clash getting ready to go. Paul Johnson knows a heck of a lot about Notre Dame, and he knows a lot about going into South Bend and winning as he did after a long, long drought when he was the head coach at Navy.
That's exactly right. And, of course, the Jackets and Irish later this afternoon. Syracuse here with a touchdown lead on Central Michigan late in this opening period.
And, you know, Wes, I'll guarantee you the rest of the country, the ongoing theme when they talk about the ACC here this weekend and next week, it's going to be, oh, Clemson looks sloppy, Florida State looks sloppy. Hey, you think Bobby Petrino's team wasn't hungry for a win? That crowd on a Thursday night, that's a good win for Dabo. And we all know what BC has done with Jimbo Fisher's team last couple of years. That's a heck of a win for him.
Chapman fumbled the kick. Got slowed up. Now tries to find a second effort, and he pushed it out near the 19. So that's where Central Michigan will start. But this almost was a jailbreak for the Orange.
Well, you see a lot of receivers sometimes that'll start running before they get that ball secured. That's exactly what happened there on the kick return. Well, they need Cooper Rush and that offense to get back out there. They certainly don't need to cough it back up and give it to Dungy and the Orange offense. Now there's a lot more room to go, but this is a very important drive for Central Michigan. They've got to come out and do what they've done the last 2 drives, and that's move the ball. They hurt themselves with a big penalty earlier. Other than that, they look pretty sharp.
Spalding 7 of 10, or Rush 7 of 10 for 62 yards. They've got 107 yards of offense, and here is Spalding again on the rush pass out in the flat, and that will be the final play of the first 15 minutes. Zaire Franklin, the fine middle linebacker, making the stop, but Scott Schaefer's Orange through 15 minutes of play here at the Carrier Dome. A 10-3 advantage. Back at the Carrier Dome, Syracuse, New York, and our Quicken Loans game summary through 15 minutes of play. The Orange, 82 yards of rushing, but a big pass play led them to the go-ahead score. 62-yard throw to Steve Ishmael set up Eric Dungy's run. And first play of the second quarter is Devin Spalding scampering out to the 45. And a first down for Central Michigan here.
Well, there's a big collision right there. To lead that, it was Arciniga to step up there, and what I thought was a good job of taking on the big puller, but instead they find a way of crashing down inside, and a nice pickup to pick right back up where they left off on the ground in the first quarter.
Spalding came into the game 15 carries, 24 yards through 2 games, now 5 for 22 here today. First and 10. Rush on a little bootleg out in the flat, and that's Rice again the catch. He'll pick up about 4 before Rodney Williams, redshirt freshman, who yesterday both Chuck Bulla and Scott Schaefer spoke of Rodney Williams because, as you see, he's the injured Syracuse player there. He was a guy that got hurt last year in preseason, was going to play a year ago, and ended up being one of many guys, both sides of the ball, affected by injury.
And got healthy, was able to play, and in that second game is when he was hurt, done for the season, ended up getting that medical red shirt.
Yep.
And he showed you his talent right there. I mean, that's a safety, and that's pretty. I mean, it's Scott Schaefer will appreciate that. A guy that just makes up his mind, he's going to go make a tackle out in the open field, not give a guy a chance to turn and dance on you, and just go heat it up and bring him down. There aren't a ton of those guys out there, and Rodney Williams, gosh, you hope he's okay, because he's a guy that can really help this football team here as they finish up this game and go through that ACC schedule, and LSU, of course, coming in next weekend.
Yep. So Williams is walking off, which is a good sign. We'll keep an eye on the outstanding redshirt freshman at free safety. Remember, Antoine Cordy was shaken up earlier. So Chauncey Sissom has drawn some reps here. Cordy has come back in the ball game, by the way. Corey Winfield, and now also Cordell Hudson, a redshirt freshman, Largo, Florida, is coming to play the other corner. So second down and 6 for the Chippewas. Hand it to Spalding, and there was Jonathan Thomas, linebacker, making the play at the 42.
Spalding, I like watching him run. He runs with that low pad level. You know, he got hit right about that 40-yard line. Looked to be a gain of maybe 1, instead turns it into 3. Now you've got a 3rd down and 3, and Chuck Buller and this defense for the Orange, that puts him in quite a bind. What do you got here?
Well, Forrest Watson's done a good job of balancing run and pass here, too, so far in this first half. That's Kroll, the receiver, in motion. Rush throwing against pressure. Wide open Kroll, first down. Diving across the midfield line into Syracuse territory is Jesse Kroll, Algoma, Wisconsin. And his favorite player growing up as a Packer fan, Jordy Nelson, Batesy.
Yeah, of course. A little bit too much cushion there on Jordy Nelson Jr. and good protection for Rush. Remember, he was sacked 5 times against Syracuse last year and lost 40-3. They give him time here, and, you know, sophomore quarterback, you got to know where those sticks are. Trying to get just 3 on that one, and they did, and then some.
Spalding gets great yardage to the right side on first down, so it'll be second and about 4 as Donnie Simmons Jr. made the play, Jen.
Well, Coach Bonamigo, Wes, getting exactly what he told me he hoped he would get from his run game. I asked him who his best chance was to move the ball on the ground, and he said the 5'11 sophomore Devin Spalding, who we've seen do that quite a few times. And, you know, also to point out, this Central Michigan offensive line intact, really, for the first time in this game. That could be helping as well.
Absolutely. Second down. Spalding tried to counter back. Arciniega and a bunch of other Orange hats got in there. Slayton again, that big redshirt freshman, and tackled Zaire Franklin, the linebacker.
This defense is fun to watch flow. They get after it when they recognize what the offense is trying to do. They're all gone. But therein lies the rub. The pass to Kroll that gained 6 yards, it was that same look. Flow one way, and then they booted him back around. That's where you can get in trouble being too aggressive, and you've got to be careful when these things are working. What plays do they have off of it?
Tighten up the formation for Rush on third down. Deep ball to the right side, and the tight end McCord can't come up with it. We had a whale of a game last week in the win over Monmouth, over 100 yards receiving on just 3 catches, but Ben McCord can't flag that one down.
Yeah, you know, I'll bet you Cooper Rush would like to have a couple more shots at that one. You know, 493 yards in the Bahamas Bowl, 7 touchdowns. He can make that throw, and we've seen him put it in a couple tighter windows than that. Just can't come away with it.
10 of 14, 84 yards is Rush so far today. He's going to run off from this one, and it will be touched up. Did it get into the end zone? It did. Ball broke the plane of the end line. Good hustle play. Bocce was down there, the starting fullback, along with Stefan Armstead. It'll come out to the 20 for the Orange.
First guy's down. We're in the middle of the field. They got to get to that goal line, turn their backs, and find the ball. They almost had them pinned.
Run for
7-point lead, and with the ball back, they've got 80 yards to go, but it could have been 99. Let's take a look here on the punt, and pause it right there, guys. Watch Grizzly Esteem. He's going to sell these guys hard that he sees the ball, and he's tracking it. Watch them all follow him. Ball goes on the other side, and there's nobody down there to keep it out of the end zone. Good job by Esteem. Good acting job.
Jabari Dean making his 26th career start today. Doesn't look like he could hold his water there at the line. He got drawn into the neutral zone, and I believe Orange gets a free 5 here.
offside. Defense number 52. Yep. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
So Big Dean, 290-pound junior redshirt from Motown.
Well, Motown, you know, these coaches talk about how tough these Michiganders are. There's 75 kids on this team from Michigan. You can see those big defensive linemen, all the scars on their helmets. They bang a little bit.
Dungy looking for the out and up. Now got to improvise. And here goes Eric Dungy. Up near midfield and into Central Michigan territory before Hamilton finally makes the play.
This is a cool cat. They had him. They had him bottled up. There's one guy, two guys to spin out of it. And all through it, still getting that ball in the outside arm, and it's off to the races.
31-yard run for Eric Dungy. Frederick's back in the game. Remember, he had the big play off the option. We'll get it from the eye this time, and Fredericks picks up 9. Now, he's the New York State Player of the Year. Dungy's in here as a true freshman. We might see Dante Strickland before the day is over, another true freshman. Ishmael's a true sophomore. This is a young football team in the skill sets for Scott Schaefer.
Children are the future, baby.
Yes, I've heard that before.
Teach them well and let them lead the way. Here's Fredericks, whose first carry went for 31 yards. You know, we talked about Dungy, his first pass being a touchdown. 39 yards out. All these guys getting involved early and being successful, too.
There goes Fredericks again. He'll step to the near side, pick up the first down to the 25 of Central Michigan. Tony Anise, the safety, up to make the stop.
Well, they've got them on their heels now, too. That big offensive line, they're doing a great job of getting up to the next level, picking up Tim Hamilton here. And when you've got your first guys on those ball carriers at 10, 12 yards down the field, boy, that can really be demoralizing for a defense when you've played so strong. And then they're just starting to just pound it on you and having so much success.
132 yards of rushing so far for the Orange in the ball game. 1st and 10. Dungy shoots it here. This is Strickland. And Dante Strickland will score. Dungy is hurt on the play. There's a flag down. But Dante Strickland, the first time he touched it, gets to the end zone. And Eric Dungy took a shot.
Wes, he stood in there strong. That's where the flag is. So there's 2 guys
Personal
on
foul. Roughing the passer with targeting. Defense number 44. That play is under further review.
Stanisiak, the defensive end. Oh, wow.
Well, that's absolutely a defensive player. So Stanisiak is going to be gone from the game. Joe Ostman didn't travel. So they're already... that's a shot. That is a... Ricketts had him down low and what looked ugly on the legs, and then...
The touchdown pass will stand for Eric Dungy. And in just his second start, you can already see what the young freshman means to not only the crowd, but also this team of Scott Schaefer's. And what about Strickland on the back end? He gets the touchdown. Now they got to sort this out.
Yeah, they can't.
Stanisiak will likely be ejected off this.
Number 44 has been disqualified. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff.
And with 9:20 to play here in this first half, 4 plays and 80 yards. The touchdown is 25 to Dante Strickland. Is good. Dungy headed to the locker room. He's going to Stanisiak hit it there on the ejection. Wow. Now, he took that shot, but James, how about the presence to get it to Strickland?
Well, Strickland, I've been really impressed with the blocking downfield. There's our guy, Ishmael, the North Miami Beach guy, leading the way, and it's 17-3.
ACC College Football is brought to you by the Works Trivac 3-in-1 Compact Blower, Mulcher, Vacuum. Leaves are falling. It's Works season.
Well, look inside the Syracuse locker room. They've got a 14-point lead after Dungy's touchdown pass of 25 yards to Dante Strickland. But Eric Dungy hurt on the play and has left the field to be tended to. We'll watch as Norton sets to kick this off, and they'll do it from midfield after the targeting penalty against Stanisiak. It ejected him from this ball game. And Norton tried to kick it into the students down to our right. And here is the play we were talking about. Now we got a flag over on the far side. You see Stanisiak, 44, make the hit on Dungy, who did get up and walk off under his own power. But here is Mark Klosinski with the interpretation of the marker. And what do we have here? Against Central Michigan, Ron Thompson says. And here is
Offside on the receiving team, number 4. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchback. 1st and 10 on the 25.
Well, the injury to Dungy brings back memories of a year ago, and there's this year's starting quarterback. Rosewood, New York's Terrell Hunt tore an Achilles against the Rams of Rhode Island, and of course he's got our Toyota tweet of the week. Keep fighting, boys, hashtag win the day. And Eric Dungy has done a remarkable job of steadying this Orange offense in the aftermath of another Hunt injury. Remember, a year ago, you said at the top, 5 starting quarterbacks a season ago, James.
Austin Wilson, one of them.
Yep, we may see him on this next set. Play action by Rush. Back across the middle, and this is McCord, the tight end. Eludes a couple guys and then knocked out of bounds in the Syracuse bench area near the 49-48 by Wayne Morgan, another former guy a year ago who spent a good bit of the season on the sideline.
See, this is where they've had some success. Play action, send everybody the other way with the flow. This was actually the 3rd target, McCord, that he looked at. Good coverage on the 2 outside receivers. Just plenty of time. Fought with his legs and a nice, easy pickup for the Chips.
Kroll, Rice, Chapman, the receivers. McCord, the tight end, rush to throw. Parker on the play. There's McCord, another catch in traffic at the 39-38-yard line. Antoine Cordy, shaken up earlier in the ball game, makes the stop. And Mark Klosinski again. Busy man here the last handful of minutes.
Offside. Defense, number 2. The penalty is declined. The play results in a 1st down.
So 1st and 10 for the Chips, Jen.
Yeah, you guys have talked about Cooper Rush finding his options out there, doing a nice job. And I talked to him, his coaches will tell you that one of his greatest assets is how smart he is, and he figures things out. Now, he's bookmarked, okay? He has a 3.9 GPA in actuarial science, which I had no idea what that was. He told me it's tons of math, crunching numbers, and yes, problem solving, which he feels absolutely helps him out here.
12 of 16 is Rush passing over 100 yards, and Spalding gets about 9 there on 1st down, close to another CMU 1st down.
Well, one set of numbers isn't very good according to his family, Jen. His golf numbers. I saw his parents out in the hallway before the game and said, hey, give me something on Cooper. Tell everybody, said, well, he's not very good at golf.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Here is Spalding on 2nd and short. He'll get the 1st down toward the 27 of the Orange. Tackle made by Wayne Morgan. And James, John Bonamigo's team, after giving up the score, Dungy to Strickland, coming right back here, showing a little fortitude against this Syracuse defense.
Right back at it there. They lose one of their leaders on defense for the rest of the game. Everything comes to a standstill. You've got a player down. not losing any punch in any fight this offense, but they need to finish here. They really need to go when they need to put it in the end zone, not settle for 3.
Hayes is coming in to spell Spalding at the running back spot. First down and 10. Rush looks toward Kroll, the catch on the slant. And Jesse Kroll to another first down at the 11-yard line of the Orange.
Again, Wes, back to it. The run is working. It wasn't really there in the first couple of games. Watch these backers go flying out of there when they need to be back in this window. They need to go ahead and roll it. Watch them pause them, freeze them just enough. And you got to turn and at least get in that window so it's a harder throw for Cooper Rush. Really gone to work the middle of the field and taking advantage of those quick backers.
Here's Hayes again. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage before he got tripped up. Middle of that Syracuse front, Ron Thompson, one of those first guys to get off the stack. Ted Taylor, another one. So it'll be second down and a full 10 off the Orange 11 for the Chippewas.
When they have dropped Rush straight back to throw, Beamish and Kenny Rogers and Doan have done a good job in the middle by giving him a place to step up, a little bit of a pocket.
Rush flushed from the pocket to his left, throws. McCord can't hang on the tight end.
Now Cooper Rush isn't a burner, but I think if he tucks it and goes right here, especially with the lead blocker turn him around, he's going to have a chance to get to that corner. Instead, he tries to fire one into the back of the end zone. And another chance that they just miss on.
So now it's come back to third and a full 10. I don't know that he'd have gotten the first down or the touchdown, but he'd have been closer than third and 10. Bocce and Spalding in the backfield. Chips are just 1 of 5 on third down. Rush in the flat. Bocce eludes one. Will be brought down shy, I believe, of the first down marker. Corey Winfield, the corner, went big game hunting on Big Joe Bocce.
Well, what are they going to do here? Fourth down and what? One, they can get a first down, can't they?
Yes.
Right inside the 2-yard line. And hey, timeout called by Coach Bono, and Coach Scott Schaefer has been around the MAC long enough. He told us yesterday, he said, I know exactly what we're getting. These guys come in here with a chip on their shoulder. When we come back, we're going to see how tough they are if they can get 1 yard.
Well, 4th and 1 for Central Michigan out of the timeout. Play action by Rush. Open Bocce, touchdown Chips. Big Joe Bocce, 245 pounds. He's provided a big boost to these guys here in this first half and now scores with it.
And how about the confidence in their junior quarterback, knowing that those linebackers are going to sell out trying to stuff that run on 4th down and 1. And Bocce able to sneak out. They like him in short yardage, showing you why right there. Not just because he's strong and powerful, but he's got really good hands, nice soft hands.
9 plays, 75 yards, 3 minutes, 23 seconds. 2-yard touchdown pass. Cooper Rush to Joe Bocce.
130 yards.
Pass Cooper Rush to Joe Bocce gets Central Michigan now within a touchdown, 17-10. Orange on their feet for the kick here at the Carrier Dome.
That's your answer. That's your answer. The song turned down for what? For that baby. So she doesn't have to wear those headphones. The game.
Is that right?
Yeah. How about Central Michigan? We talked about it there as they were driving.
Yeah.
Looking back at it, that's impressive to go punch it in after all that happened to them, down 14 like that.
Here is a steam from the goal line. Grizzly 20 and out to about the 25-yard line. Next Saturday, we're going to take our ACC football cameras to Chapel Hill. Marquise Williams and the Tar Heels. Tough loss in the opener against South Carolina. We'll get big bad Elijah Hood. There's Bates' guy, Jeff Schopper, the linebacker. will have the Tar Heels in their first ever meeting against the Delaware Blue Hens. James, Jen, I'll make sure you get the full scoop of Franklin Street in your first visit to Chapel Hill.
All right.
12:30, our start time from Kenan Stadium. Hope you'll join us for ACC football. Larry Fedora's team trying to get to 2-1 against Illinois at halftime today in Chapel Hill. And here's the first down hand to McFarland, who got off the helmet, rolled out there for a couple of yards. Jen?
Well, unfortunately, some bad news from the training room. Dr. James Tucker just came out of the locker room for Syracuse, delivered the message to the trainer and coaches that Eric Dungey has sustained an upper body injury, will not return in this game. So an unfortunate break. No idea how serious it could be, but he won't be back in this game, guys.
Right, Jen, thank you. That leaves it to Austin Wilson, redshirt sophomore, Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, who did play last year, one of the 5 different starters, and that time throws a rope to Cornelius, or Sean Avon on the far side. First down to the far side against Amari Coleman, one of the better Central Michigan corners. Here's the replay on the Dungey injury.
Yeah, and you know, I wanted to defend Stanizek off the top, but watching that replay a few times, you know, he almost set his feet and launched at him, and it's just, you got to be smarter than that, and you got to take care of these guys, and that's absolutely what they're doing in college and professional football.
McFarland out near the 44. Hamilton makes the play on first down after a 5-yard gain. And now a flag thrown in the secondary.
I guess Avon threw.
Well, he and Coleman got wrapped up again. And Mark Klaczynski to talk with his crew and tell us.
After the play was over, we have offsetting unsportsmanlike fouls, unsportsmanlike conduct on Syracuse number 87, unsportsmanlike conduct, Central Michigan number 7. This is their first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game. Second down.
Well spelled out by referee Klaczynski. And basically one more, and they're ejected.
Spelled out by the referee and chewed out by the coaches when you get those personal foul penalties. You know, and lucky, and what happens, both players are lucky that it was offsetting. Because usually in that situation, it's the guy retaliating, and they don't see the first punch.
Second down and 5. Wilson to throw. Loops it out here over the top of McFarland, incomplete. And Ricketts there just to make sure for Central Michigan in coverage, but it'll bring 3rd and 5 for Austin Wilson.
Not trying to beat up on the new guy in there, sophomore Austin Wilson, but Eric Dungey, right out of the gate, he makes that throw. When Tim Lester talks about him making all the throws, you know, Austin Wilson can make that throw, but it also has to do up top, the coolness. And just, you know, that's a touch pass. There's nobody around him. Drop that in there and give yourself a chance. Austin Wilson, he's played in some big ones. He started, remember, last year against FSU and right here against the Duke Blue Devils.
Wilson here to the near side and incomplete. Looking for Cornelius and defended by Stephon Armstead. So the Orange 0 for 3 on 3rd down. 4 plays and now a punt from Riley Dixon coming.
Good break there by Steph Armstead. Guy who wore the 21 jersey that Cox is wearing last week in the win over Monmouth.
Emmett Thomas, the freshman from Brunswick, Georgia, deep to return the punt. Pretty good punt by Dixon. Thomas watches it check up. And the Orange will down it inside the 5. Well, Tim Dowse coordinates the special teams for Scott Schaefer. He'll like all of that from redshirt senior Riley Dixon. And that punt cover unit. 52-yard punt. And the Chippewas will snap it off their 5-yard line.
Okay, now let's watch down here. Here's trying to sell it. Trying to sell it. Hey, I've got that ball coming to me. Everybody look at me. Brisley Esteem did an excellent job for Syracuse earlier, and the Orange dodged a bullet. Central Michigan wasn't able to down it. It wasn't that hard of a sell. The acting job wasn't there. The little things. Yeah, he called for a fair catch, and then he just kind of put his arms on his chest like he caught it. Well, everybody knew he wasn't catching it. Got to get those eyes big and really sell it. Great job, Syracuse.
Spalding on first down, nothing. Back to the line, Stephen Clark. One of those big young guys in that defensive front for Syracuse to stop. We go under 4 minutes to play in this first half. Remember, the Orange will get the ball to start the second half, James, so we really become a premium possession here for both Central Michigan and Syracuse.
Absolutely. You know, and you'd like to get a chance with your 3 timeouts, Syracuse, get a 3 and out here, and get some good things for Austin Wilson to talk about at halftime. Get him feeling good in there in the halftime locker room. He's just a sophomore. He's still young, too.
Rush on play action. Going to throw and offline. Zach Krause, the tight end, maybe his intended receiver. Both he and Bocce in the pattern, but Ron Thompson doing what he does best. Pressuring the quarterback. Central Michigan's 1 of 6 here, James. And this is where Chuck Muller likes to get all the hands on deck.
Boy, he does. He likes to bring them. But you've also seen him just bring 3. And you've got to be so careful. This is a big screen or draw down, just trying to get out of there. You're down at your own goal line. You don't want to turn it over. You want to be extra careful. So watch that draw. What can happen if you are blitzing? You can get gashed and run right by for a great big hitter. So I'd look for him almost. We're going to take a timeout and talk about it, but to be careful in a situation like this as well.
This is a 30-second timeout.
This is kind of the down distance. It wasn't in this particular area of the field where last week John Wolford made the mistake to Donnie Simmons, who dropped off the end, right? In the little zone blitz scheme employed by the Orange.
Absolutely. You know, and watch for a different look. We haven't seen a whole lot of those zone dog blitzes, like you say. And, I mean, dropping one of those defensive ends, all of a sudden something Cooper Rush might have seen on tape. Yep. But in the heat of the moment when he's standing in his own end zone and he sees a backer coming, he doesn't expect that big guy wearing number 13 or number 5, Arciniga, to be dropped.
By the way, stay tuned. Check your local listings around the market this week. Wednesdays in the fall. James Bates leads the cast of characters on ACC Gridiron Live, including this week. The old fullback, Obi Mahaley, will visit with Scott Schaefer and talk about the Orange rebuilding job. ACC Gridiron Live Wednesdays this fall on your regional sports network.
Well, Obi Mahaley's old Demon Deacons, they got a big loss handed to them by Scott Schaefer last week right here. That's a big play.
Too tight look. Chapman to carry, nothing. Well schemed by Bulla and the Orange defensively. Thompson, the guy we spoke of a moment ago, stayed home to make the stop. And a timeout taken by Scott Schaefer here to stop the clock.
You see Ron Thompson doing a good job of just stepping down and setting that corner. You know, and that's where a guy's playing under control. That's where a guy understands where he fits into the whole scheme of the defense. Because sometimes you see a guy that, you know, hey, let's heat it up and try to go make this big play in the end zone on this quarterback, and you get run by. Just sealed it, contained. They've got 11 yards, 10 yards to go. You've got your buddies in there. Everybody in an orange hat is inside, not on the outside. So just set that edge. Not only does he set the edge and turn them back inside, but he crashes down and makes the tackle and drops them as well. Now there's plenty of time for this Orange offense to work and add to the 7-point lead.
Ron Calusi, who had a 58-yard punt opening night against Oklahoma State, toward the back line of the end zone, and Grizzly Esteem waits at midfield. Got it away. Here's Esteem on the run, 44. Tried to get up the middle of the field, got knocked back around the 40. And that's where the Orange will start. But it is a plus territory possession for Austin Wilson on in relief here of the injured Eric Dungy. Tony Anise made the stop for the Chippewas. And Austin Wilson, who a year ago, 56%, just 253 yards of passing, did not throw a touchdown, had 4 interceptions. James, you alluded to in the starts against both Florida State and Duke here. He was injured in the Duke game and then was a backup the rest of the way. Jordan Fredericks is the running back in the pistol set. Play action, a little bootleg. Wilson can really throw it. And the catch is made. 18-yard line by Grizzly Esteem. What a catch. And Wilson flicked that one about 24 yards.
Yeah, he did. Right in the spot where only Esteem could come back to it. Almost not fair when you throw that back shoulder like that. You got everybody going full speed, trying to stay stride for stride, and then you sit them down and wait on it right inside that window. That is a nice throw, and that's the kind of positive momentum that you're hoping that he would have. Look at the snap off and make sure they don't go look at it again.
Here's Fredericks trying to get a yard or two. He'll get nothing on the play. Blake Serpa playing for the first time today. Number 2 off his defensive end spot. Collard Fredericks. That is awfully close, James.
There you go. Here's the look. So there's the... Oh, that elbow's down because he doesn't have control right there. They're lucky to get that snap off. They'll take it. But for the stuff here, they'd like to go get 7.
Lewis and Esteem to the far side. And into the ball game comes Zach Mahoney, a quarterback, and Mahoney will keep it. How about this? Tim Lester now having to break apart the play sheet a little bit from his quarterback position without Dungy. Wilson can do some things. Mahoney can do some things, right?
Well, they had the option in there for Dungy, and here comes Mahoney. I mean, we're going to see them all today. We may even see Tackleberry and Hodges. Police Academy style before it's all over. That's a nice little mix-up. And back to Wilson they go now.
Yep. First and goal inside the 10 at the 8 after the Mahoney play off the option. And here is Fredericks. And he'll get a couple toward the 6. Clock inside of 2 minutes. We wind down this first half. The Orange have 2 timeouts remaining. Central Michigan just 1. Scott Schaefer knows how big this possession can be, considering they get the kick to start the second half as well.
Up top, they've got Cox in so much space if they look just there.
Throw to the end zone. The catch is made. Jamal Custis. What an unbelievable grab, James.
Well, I was thinking they put the big man and just give him a little shake, and you got so much room in between, run a quick slant. Instead, a beautiful throw by Wilson, and even prettier, the catch, fending off the defender with one arm and hauling it in with the other.
So Jamal Custis, 6'5", sophomore from Philadelphia. How about that? 5 plays, 41 yards, under 2 minutes, and the 7-yard touchdown pass. And with 71 seconds to go here in this first half, Syracuse gets in the end zone on the plus field opportunity.
Well, as a defender, you can't allow space. Cox does a good job of regrouping and getting that body back on Custis, but then it's too late. You can't let them separate. When you're in man-to-man coverage, you're left alone there on an island like Josh Cox was. You got to get those hands, and you got to stay right there and feel. If you're going to peek, you better know where that body is. And when you create space, he can drift apart. And then when he's 6'5" and can power you, you're in trouble.
3 touchdowns in their last 4 possessions. All of their scoring. 4 possessions in their last 5. And what started when Dungy lofted one to Steve Ishmael. That set up the 4-yard keeper by Eric Dungy for the touchdown. And the Orange took the lead. And then on the play, he was injured. Dungy, little poise to Dante Strickland, who scored. And you see this hit he took from Stanisak. Strickland gets in the end zone for the first time. Central Michigan came right back, though. Bocce, the nice play on 4th down. And then here just a moment ago, Custis the catch to make it a 24-10 lead. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Central Michigan out at its 25 as Norton kicks it through the end zone. Now remember, Schaefer and the Orange here have 2 timeouts. How about Jamal Custis coming up big?
Well, Is he listed as a receiver or as a tight end?
He's a receiver.
They've got a few guys that they can mix and move. Ben Lewis being one of them.
Yeah.
You know, Dante Strickland is another guy that they like to move around there, but Custis, that's a big body. That's so tough to defend when you're left all alone. Josh Cox is 5'10".
Cooper Rush 15 of 21, 148 in his first half. The touchdown pass. Here's Kroll. That's a first down throw, and then he'll be pulled down by Whitfield and a marker thrown in on top of that.
Add on 15 yards because he was tackled by his helmet. Well, and there's 104, and we need not remind Chip fans what Rush can do.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 11, 15-yard penalty, first down.
It was a Wild West shootout back in the Bahamas Bowl, so he's got it in him. This is plenty of time. Here's the nice timing to Kroll, and there's the back end of it. Winfield, you know, I thought it was his helmet at first, but it's, you know, they're
the top of the jersey, right?
Almost like a horse collar, but they're holding forward.
So at the 44 after the penalty. Rush here to the near side. Kroll out of bounds. And Chauncey Sissom was there in coverage for the Orange.
Good job by the guy from the Rochester area over Rush Henrietta High School. Break on it and to go right through those hands. You know, not only to force him out of bounds, but to strip that ball away. So it's a 2nd and 10 now.
And we're going to get a review here of the catch.
The ruling on the previous play was the receiver dropped the ball as he hit the ground. The play is under further review.
So with 50 seconds to play, Mark Klodzinski, the referee, will slide over and jump on the headset. And you decide at home here. Kroll had it, but then did not make the football move, the designated football move, if you will. Did not complete the catch.
Well, in real time, it's so boom, boom. I think it was a good call on the field, and I think it'll stand.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Incomplete pass.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 just outside the Syracuse 44. Mid-American officiating crew and ACC replay crew today in the intersectional matchup. 3rd meeting all time. They first met September 11th, 1999 here at the Carrier Dome. You had last year's scoring total 87-10 through 2 meetings. Coming into today, Syracuse had outscored Central Michigan. Chippewas are 0-9 all time against the ACC. Rush juggled the snap, took the sack. Boy, Ron Thompson has been somebody in the first half, James.
Now they want a timeout, Syracuse.
Yep, absolutely, right?
Absolutely. It's 45 seconds on 3rd down. Just wasn't ready for it off to the side. They weren't sure were.
Central Michigan, this is their 3rd and final charge timeout. This is a 30-second timeout.
Well, Nick Beamish, who we were told, remember now, Central Michigan, the one thing they do have, they got quite a lineage of offensive linemen. Eric Fisher, the #1 pick a couple of years ago to Kansas City. Joe Staley starts in the offensive line for San Francisco. Brock Gutierrez is down doing radio today, their analyst. He's a long time. Nick Beamish has struggled in this first half, and we were told he was maybe the best prospect among that group.
A guy in his 41st start today. Started every game in the Central Michigan career. Here's a guy that wanted to go to Central Michigan. He was offered late in December, and well, he's made it count. I'm curious as to why they called that timeout, though. They're not going to go whimpering into the locker room, that's for sure. They're going to try to put it up there and move these chains before halftime.
Here's Rush. 4 guys coming after the Central Michigan quarterback, and he throws it behind Spalding, incomplete. The incomplete pass helps Syracuse a little bit there, doesn't it?
Well, the incomplete, and then you help them by calling the timeout. I like the attack mode. Hey, we're not going to come in here and just fold up the tent and go whimpering into the halftime locker room. But at the same time, you got to remember, Esteem had a punt return that was called back earlier. They've had a little bit of trouble in the punt game.
Paris Bennett, the guy there with Devin Spalding. And now here's his team standing at the 10 to wait on Ron Calusi's punt.
You got to be careful of the fake punt as well. Everybody walked up in there.
Calusi going to hang this high. And Steen, fair catch at the 10. And that's where the Orange will play with a half minute to go. Olivia Harlan joins you for ACC All Access. He traded in one gold helmet for another. Notre Dame transfer Everett Golson, subject of this week's player profile. Plus news and notes from soccer, volleyball, and all the other fall sports. Join Olivia for ACC All Access. Check your local listings. And here's Austin Wilson back out. The Orange has 2 timeouts. James, see how aggressive Tim Lester and Scott Schaefer get here. Tight end, 3 receivers. Their standard personnel group. Farland got knocked down at the line of scrimmage, maybe at the 11. And no timeout taken for Schaefer. And if they choose, the Orange can just let the first half clock expire. They'll get the kick to start the second half. And despite the injury to Eric Dungy, Syracuse has not let that sidetrack their momentum, James.
Right. Both teams didn't fold it up when they had the big hit. Central Michigan lost one of their leaders, and the leader of this offensive charge, Eric Dungy, he hands it over to Austin Wilson. Hope he's okay, but Wilson sure has been okay from a quarterback position, and the Orange come striking back and are up 14 at halftime.
Yep, 24-10 our score. And Jen standing by with Orange head coach Scott Schaefer.
Well, Coach, when your team was able to score with just over a minute left, how big was that just to maintain some confidence in this offense with Dungy out?
It was big. You know, Austin came in, and then we used the officer, we call him, Zach Mahoney, and he did a nice job. He's got a good feel for running the option, and we've worked it in case something like this would happen, and I thought they did a very good job. Thought the older kids did a nice job. Now we just got to do a better job on defense. Got to tackle. You know, we had some opportunities to make some plays. A couple missed tackles here and there. Now the momentum swings. We've been good on third down on defense. I think they've only converted to 1. So we got to do a better job on those second downs. And their quarterback, Cooper's done a nice job throwing the ball complete, and their kids are making catches. We just got to, you know, tighten things up on defense and tackle better in the second half.
Any idea on the severity of Dungy's injury at this point?
Not yet. Don't know.
Thanks, Coach.
Jen, thanks very much. As always, thanks to Schaefer. 14-point lead for the Orange here at the break. The Hyundai halftime report is next.
They're on the field, find a way to convert, and for Syracuse, keep up the pace, keep the pressure on. After they lost Dungy, they did just that. Keep up this pace. Remember, a nice win and a nice momentum into the end of this game. No sloppiness is a lot better with LSU coming in.
Trying the onside kick, fair caught by the Orange over on the far sideline. Syracuse did it with Davon Ellison, who did a nice job staying home there. A little trickeration by Coach Bonamigo.
Well, Bonamigo, that's where he's hung his hat for so long. Special teams, saw something probably in the tape that he liked. And Syracuse, maybe a self-scout, saw that some of their frontline guys were bailing out of there early, thought maybe they could get them, but a good heads-up play by the youngster from Syracuse, and now you've got your offense in good field position to start.
And Zach Mahoney, Scott Schaefer called him the officer.
He's on the same page.
On the way to halftime. That's what I'm scared of.
Police Academy.
In motion, Strickland. And this is Fredericks, the freshman, for a couple of yards. James, I wouldn't be terribly, and by the way, Jabari Dean shaking up on the play for the Chippewas. Big number 52. They'll stop the clock and allow Dean to be attended to. James, are you going to be surprised if Tim Lester slows this game down a little bit with the alteration of Mahoney and Wilson at quarterback and just kind of remember yesterday he was telling us about the play sheet, and when Terrell Hunt got hurt opening night, Tim Lester had to go to the play sheet and find out what Eric Dungy knew on that play sheet. Now he's got to go to the play sheet again and find out what Austin Wilson and Zach Mahoney know.
You know, one thing, unfortunately, that we're finding out, and here's another guy down, it's not a quarterback. There's Tim Lester over on the far side taking a sip, is you better have backups. You better have them prepared. And as a coach, you better be flexible. You better be flexible and ready to kind of change as you change quarterbacks. You know, look, Wade went down last night at such a tough loss for Steve Adazio in BC.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they may lose him for the rest of the season. You know, there's no telling when they're going to get Dungy back. He took a nasty blow to the head there in the first half. So you got to be able to adapt and do it on the fly, and your guys got to be prepared.
Mahoney in the game, 2nd and 8. And here is Fredericks. Been impressed by this young freshman, Jordan Fredericks. It'll be 3rd and about 2. Malik Fountain. We have not called his name very much today. Redshirt freshman on the weak side at linebacker for Central Michigan. They're very excited about his future.
Well, Tim Hamilton's been there forever. Chirosi was the big bad linebacker there, not just last year, but the last 3 years, led that team in tackles. So Hamilton's filled in nicely. And you're right, without being redshirt freshman, he's next in line.
Syracuse hadn't hit a 3rd down today, 0 for 3. Mahoney will hand it, and George Morris, the 2nd from suburban Atlanta, hit by Tim Hamilton. No gain on the play, might have lost a step. And it will be 3 and out for the Orange here on their opening drive of the 2nd half.
Boy, how about Greg Colby's defense coming out prepared from the halftime locker room right there in the middle, staring down the barrel of a loaded gun, big Tim Hamilton. Nice open field tackle as it opens up. A lot of space there for the back to wiggle, but nothing doing, and now here's the punt.
Riley Dixon toward Emmett Thomas, the true freshman. Will wave it off, and Syracuse will touch it up just outside the 5 of Central Michigan. So almost a couple of minutes gone here in this 2nd half, and time for our hearty star to watch, and it's the junior quarterback of the Chippewas, Cooper Rush.
Well, all eyes on him because he's the guy that makes it go offensively. 16 of 24, 164 yards today, not bad. You got to think, though, most of his damage has been done on the play-action pass. And the reason he's been able to do that damage is because of guys like Spalding, because of guys like Bocci getting in there and behind that big offensive line, moving the football. Now they've got a long way to go, but they've got to get back to chopping right now.
65 yards of rushing on 17 carries, almost their game average coming into the ball game. And boy, they rally into the ball quicker, the Orange. Tackled behind the line is Spalding this time. And Syracuse had Donnie Simmons, the defensive end, and Paris Bennett, the linebacker there.
And let's not forget, that's the 2nd time that the senior punter from right up the street, Christian Brothers Academy, Riley Dixon, former walk-on, has pinned this team. There he is, and that's a star to watch on special teams. He's been excellent today.
Rush from the gun here. Little middle screen for Spalding. Had some blockers. Will turn the corner. Spalding breaks free. Tries to cut back across the 40 and taken down at midfield. Paris Bennett, the linebacker, able to retrace his steps, but boy, the screenplay has been huge for the Chippewas. Big Nick Beamish, the center, paving road for Spalding.
Boy, nice play call, knowing that they're going to sell out, coming after you. Everybody with their ears pinned back. You got your back to your goal line. Marquise Hodge was left out there and sniffed it out, but he was blown up, and it's 43 yards. Big first down and a whole lot more.
Hayes in at the running back spot. Franklin makes the play.
Watch Hodge. Watch, he sees it, but they eat him up. A good wall set by those big offensive linemen. Great job. And then Spalding's off to the races. Boy, this is a good day. If you're an 80s movies fan, you've got Police Academy with Mahoney, and there's Spalding, and you can't help but think of Caddyshack. I got it made, and some good football being played.
A couple of 100 yards now, 212 yards from Cooper Rush. 2nd and long. And they can't get to him. Rush eludes the pocket and dumps it back. That's Hayes making a fine catch. The back, DeRay Hayes, the junior college transfer, City College of San Francisco, hauling it in at the Orange 35 for a first down in front of Bennett.
Well, good job by Rush to buy some time. The pressure was there, stepping through it. And how big has Hayes been?
Yeah.
Well, the pop culture of the 80s keeps on going, by the way. 75, Kenny Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the. So it doesn't stop with the movies.
No, it doesn't. You think he'll gamble a little bit in pass blocking? 1st and 10 at the 35. I just tried to beat you to the spot on that one. Here's Rush down the middle of the field. Caught me. Tight end Conklin makes the grab. 1st and 10 at the 13. Rodney Williams, who was banged up in the first half, comes up to make the stop from safety.
Didn't Jen start this broadcast talking about fight? Derek Nash, the fight in him, the fight in head coach John Bonamigo. This is a team that's fighting it. That's what's been impressive, is that they've never flinched. They may be outmanned at times, they may be down a few bodies, but they keep on fighting, and this is an impressive offensive drive after the defense gets the big stop. Now let's see if they can punch it in.
Well, 1st and 10, bunch look from the Chippewas on their opening possession here in the second half. And Hayes, the big 210-pound back, bangs away inside the 10. Stephen Clark and Syracuse try to wrestle him, but he keeps digging out toward the 8. And with about 5 minutes gone here in this third period, John Bonamigo's Chippewas are back in this thing now.
Now watch the legs keep driving. There's one hanging on down low. He'll run through that one, and it takes 3 guys to finally drop him. You've even got Bocce Ball trying to push the pot. Look at these guys trying to push the pot. I thought it was just Bocce, but it's 4 other Chippewas that come in there.
Rush is perfect in the drive. 3 for 3 passing, 80 yards. Spalding's come in as the lone setback. That's Willis in motion. Here's Spalding trying to get to the near side. And he'll be taken down, but I think that'll be enough to make it 1st and goal as Antoine Cordy circled around to make the tackle for Syracuse, and it will be 1st and goal for the Chippewas.
Well, to stretch it out here on the pitch, and it's one thing they had trouble with in the first half was getting outside on this speedy Syracuse defense. But these linemen are getting up and moving for them, and they are outside. The receivers are doing a good job, just the Syracuse offensive guys have all the whole game. And they do have a fresh set of downs inside the 5 now.
17 first downs in the ball game now for CMU. Spalding, right side, cuts it back, touchdown. So Bonamigo's Chippewas cut it to an 8-point game with the point try here, coming up with just under 9 minutes to go in the third.
Nice little crackback outside of the tackle box. And then Spalding doing the rest, just putting on the brakes and letting 4 bodies with the orange bonnets on go running by him. Jesse Kroll, Derek Edwards were leading the way there on the blocks. How about that?
8 plays, James, 94 yards and 4:15. The screen pass to Spalding, huge play. Devin Spalding into the end zone to make it a touchdown difference.
ACC College Football is brought to you by Ally Bank, where no branches equals great rates. Quicken Loans. And your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places.
Well, if you come to Syracuse in your ACC travels, there are a couple of must stops, and this is one of them, the varsity. Get you some cheese, please. Some of the boys on the crew, I was proud of them. They got to the dinosaur barbecue last night, James.
Yeah, I may have to head there tonight.
A little coy play by the crew. 24-17 our score after the Spalding touchdown run. There'll be no return for Esteem. Orange will play from their 25-yard line. And let's get to our Ally Bank turning point. This day started to the script for the Orange. Eric Dungy passing and rushing and optioning, including his first career rushing touchdown to give the Orange the lead. And then a nasty hit on the touchdown to Strickland. Dungy lost to Syracuse for the remainder of the ball game. Their outstanding true freshman at quarterback. That's our Ally Bank turning point of the game.
You can only hope that that's just it, the remainder of the game. It's, you know, you've got to protect the kid. Austin Wilson has done a fine job coming back in, but they've got to move it a little bit. They did in the first series out the gate.
And he'll find Ben Lewis. First catch of the day for Lewis. Richard Jr. gets Syracuse toward another first down, Jen.
Well, the Orange are going to need some other guys to step up and catch the ball, because not only is the quarterback Dungy out, but talented sophomore receiver Steve Ishmael, I've just been told, is also out with an upper body injury. The words I was given, though, fellas, out for now. So I'll keep an eye out, but I haven't seen him on the sideline.
All right, thank you very much. Second and short. And here is Fredericks trying to sweep. And boy, got stacked up as they extended the blocking. Tim Hamilton, the linebacker, got out there to make the play.
Well, yeah, he did. And remember, it was Tim Hamilton to stop on third down the first series. He just has a good knack, good angles, and a good job to fight up top. Number 2, that's Serpa, the defensive end, continued to fight. He wasn't going to get beaten. He wasn't going to get clipped outside, and continued to just fight to set that edge. He's not credited in the stat sheet for a tackle, but he should be. Give him a gold star because that was big. Now can they do it again?
Third down. Hamilton hands to Strickland. He'll read it. Try to get here to the near side and cannot break free. Ricketts, the linebacker. Fountain, the linebacker.
And I think it was a little payback here. Hamilton does a good job of jumping up, reading it, and turning it back in this time. Here's Hamilton down at the bottom, and he takes on a double team and just fights his way. Doesn't get blown out of there, fights his way, because again, all of his teammates are inside. He lets them get outside, you're done. You're going to get a first down and then some. But you got Ricketts and everybody coming and cleaning it up. That's big.
Syracuse is now 0 for 5 on third down. Boy, another booming punt from Dixon. And Chapman signaled for the fair catch and continues to return the ball up to the 15-yard line. A flag thrown inside the 10. I beg your pardon, Thomas. Emmett Thomas, he and Mark Chapman were the identical numbers. 3 for both youngsters.
Boy, that was dangerous. Well, those Chip fans back home holding their breaths on that one, and now they're not going to like this call because it was what looked like a block in the back, so they'll back it up even more, so they got the length to go one more time.
And remember that Thomas signaled for the fair catch and then returned it as well, so there may be a infraction
The
there.
receiving team signaled for a fair catch. Therefore, they are not allowed to advance. Also,
I think he's going to get to James's block in the back here somewhere along the way.
Give us some stripes, we'll get it all covered for him, Wes.
At any rate, I think we're...
rule because the ball was dead, there can be no foul for blocking the back. It will be Central Michigan's ball at the spot of the catch, first down.
So at the 7 is where the Chips will start, which is a yard more than where they were on their last drive. That in 8 plays they got the touchdown with Spalding. This is a pretty big drive in this ball game now, James.
And remember, to just get their second third down conversion on that last drive of the game, they needed that great big play by Spalding on the screen pass. They need to do a little bit more damage on first and second downs here and not rely on the big hitter.
Advance by rule, delay a game. Return team will penalize half the distance to the goal. First down.
So the ball will go to the 4. Actually, he played the ball at the, just inside the 10, so...
Well, any motion that looks like a fair catch is a fair catch signal, and that's the right call. And probably juggling it, freaked out, changed his mind. He wanted to just keep going.
Rush will work from the pistol here. Spalding is the back with it. He'll hand it to Spalding. Not a lot there. That area has not produced much, if anything, for Central Michigan. But James, does one lead to the other in that? Does that help them with the screen game and some of that middle passing they've done?
Well, Caton Samuels does a great job of stoning the offensive linemen, and it was just technique. It was just textbook football right there. At times where they have, yes, heated it up a little bit, some third downs where they've gotten gashed. But not necessarily right there. That's just good defensive end, defensive tackle play on that right side of the Syracuse defense. They'll try to stuff him again here.
Rush going to throw now. And does so. And this is McCord, the tight end, who got mashed. Wayne Morgan, Paris Bennett. Morgan, number 2, is the guy that was first for Syracuse.
Well, Morgan, another one of the guys that was dinged up last year, got the medical red shirt, played in 3 games before. Teaming up there, the junior from Brooklyn. And as a receiver, that zone coverage, you got to put your foot in the ground and go get a couple. And make it 3rd down and 4. Got 3rd down and long now. They're making some noise here in the Carrier Dome for their defense. Ball disruption. That's what they're after, trying to knock that ball loose.
Rush going to throw. McCord first down, middle of the field, and out to the 30-yard line. Found a spot in what looked like the orange zone.
Oh, a nice little touch, and it was. And that's the thing. If you're only going to bring 3 or 4, which we've seen a couple times, they end up bringing 4. Know your responsibilities. Know your position. That's Zaire Franklin, the middle linebacker there in his drop, and they're sitting them down. Good routes run, and a good job by Cooper Rush. And defensively in those pass drops, you know, it's so much fun for them to blitz. But when you're dropping, you got to know where those sticks are. Where are they trying to get? Where are they trying to sit them down? And how does it all work? And that's a big blow if McCord is injured and can't come back, the senior from Warren.
Here's a little return on the reverse, and this is Willis, and he'll be brought down. Corey Willis, redshirt sophomore, Holland, Michigan, taken down way behind the line.
Well, they've got a couple little guys like him, like Emmett Thomas, that can really scoot. And you don't see a lot of speed out there. You haven't seen a lot of guys, they try to go too deep. But here, it's the speed of the Syracuse defense that bottles up a little, you know, a quick guy, a jittery guy. And a great job. After you've got some momentum, you come up with a great big 3rd down conversion again on this drive. Then you go backwards, and now you're looking at 2nd and 16.
Eric Cooper's coming in the game. He'll join Anthony Rice to the far side. Rush looking to throw. And Spalding, middle of the field, hit head on by Paris Bennett. At the 28-yard line, it'll be a gain of about 4. And it will be 3rd down and about 12.
Bennett's been pretty good in pass defense. You know, we've got Hodge, Franklin, Bennett, some active linebackers. And the sophomore playing against some homies, I'm sure, from Detroit, had an interception against Wake, the first of his career. Now Syracuse, know where those chains are, the 40-yard line. That's where Central Michigan's trying to get. They did such a good job on 3rd down in the first half, but they've given up 2 crucial 3rd downs here already in the second to double up what they gave up in the first.
3rd and 12, rush to throw, looking at Kroll, who makes the catch. Syracuse bench wanted offensive pass interference on Jesse Kroll working against Wayne Morgan. No marker as it's into orange territory at the 46.
Wayne is in perfect position. Watch number 2 here underneath Kroll. Running with him stride for stride, and he just runs on by. He snapped that head around, but he lost contact. We talked about it earlier. You have to have a feel on that body. And a good job by Rush. He's got a foot down. He's got the ball tucked away, and 3 huge 3rd down pickups by this Chippewa offense coming out of the halftime locker room.
This is Hayes. He and Spalding have done the bulk of the run game today for Coach Bonamigo. Ted Taylor hits him. The linebacker there, 37, from Riviera Beach, Florida, and Dodge City Community College. No gain on the play for Hayes. Under 2.5 to play in this 3rd period. Bocce's come in front of Hayes. Rush on play action. Taking the shot, and Willis there. Flag will be thrown. Pass interference against Julian Wiggum. He and Corey Willis. Remember now, Central Michigan is the alma mater of Antonio Brown, regarded as one of the great receivers in the NFL. And
Pass interference. Defense number 1. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Coaching staff thinks Willis has got a chance to be in that Antonio Brown mold, too.
Not just Antonio. They've got 10 players in the NFL right now from Central Michigan. And again, here's a guy, you'll see defensive backs, cornerbacks a lot of times when they're getting beat, they'll reach out and grab. I mean, here are a couple guys. This is a well-coached defense. You can tell by watching Chuck Bola's defense play in, play out. those last two plays by that left side of the defensive cornerbacks, it's been a little bit sloppy.
Screen again for Spalding, and Rush maybe had to cut it loose a step early. James?
You've got to trust what you do every day in practice. And what that is just even when you're warming up, you're stride for stride with that receiver, and you're right there in his hip, and you're watching those eyes. Just those eyes are going to tell you when that ball's on its way. Here's Cooper Rush's numbers, and look, the first half compared with the second, 6 of 7, 137, almost the total of the first for Coach Bono.
That's his first incompletion of this second half. A buck 37, as you noted. And now second and a full 10. Little delay, and Spalding cuts it back. Boy, Spalding is shifty. Picks up almost 9 on second down. It'll be third and very short for the Chippewas there. And Spalding shaken up again. But he's been the threat today, James.
Well, just a sophomore, and you know what I like about him is his fight in the young man. We've seen him several times. The first lick hasn't taken him down, and he's got guys around him. When you run so hard, like we've seen on the other side with Dungy at quarterback, those offensive linemen, those receivers can't help but fight their tails off for you to help pave the way.
Hayes, the third down carry, converts, and the drive will stay alive for the Chippewas here. Stephen Clark got in there to make the play.
Hayes has been a nice surprise as well.
Yeah.
In the 2 deep for Coach Bono. You've got Walker, Martez Walker, the junior.
We haven't seen Walker at all today, have we? We saw Hayes, Spalding, and a little bit of Cooper Rush on the ground, but Spalding and Hayes came into the ball game, James, with only 22 carries combined in the first 2 ball games. Minute 10 left to go, and Rush to throw here. Back across, and Hayes the catch. James, he checked that one all the way down, and the last guy available was Hayes, his running back, for about 6 yards.
How nifty was that, Cooper Rush? Namaste. And that was like a yoga move, the way he was twisting and turning to get it back across. That was pretty.
There's Caden Samuels shaken up. James spoke of him a moment ago, and some of these guys last week had to fight some cramps through dehydration, and that's the case with Samuels. Timeout on the field. Schaefer out for a look. His team now see CMU in the red zone.
If you drive for a living or just drive the
ball at the Carrier Dome in Central New York, the Orange leading Central Michigan 24-17. But James, look at the pass numbers for each school here in the second half. Now, obviously, Eric Dungy's hurt and out for the rest of the game, but Cooper Rush has been pretty impressive.
A couple good touches and really all the throws. Nice deep down the sideline, nice screen as well. Now he'll take one from under center.
Second and 5 for Rush, and Spalding back in the game. And gets a couple yards toward the 10. Zaire Franklin.
But again, Wes, it's a couple yards towards the 10. How many times in this situation will you see a young guy dance? Yeah. Oh, gosh, I'm going to get the home run hitter. I'm going to get the big hit right here. Hey, if there's nothing there, put your head down and give me 2. Give me third down and short instead of third down and 8 if you lose a couple.
13th play of the drive coming up here for the Chippewas. And likely the final play of quarter 3. Drive is 7 minutes and change old for Bonamigos Chippewas. And the clock will expire, and that will be the end of the third.
The end of the third quarter.
Syracuse has seen Central Michigan dominate time of possession and yardage here in quarter 3. Spalding a big play. And then the setup on the throw to Conklin, and then the touchdown has drawn the Chips to then a score as we go to quarter 4 after this. Monday game summary in a very, very tight fit here. 24-17.
Well, the action starts right off the bat here in the fourth as you look at the numbers. 4 of 11 Central Michigan on third down. 3 great big ones all in the second half. Let's see if they can get one more right here knocking on the door.
Rush 8 of 9 throwing in the half, and he fires it inside. McCord, a marker down on the play. And Big Ben McCord is tight end, who had a huge game last week against Monmouth, shaken up as he makes the catch.
Well, McCord, a couple times we've seen him banged up, hobbling off the field.
If the play stands, it'll be first and goal for the Chippewas.
Illegal shift on the offense. The guard went down while the man was in motion. 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
One thing that Coach Bonamigo and his staff did in that halftime locker room was they got rid of this junk. There was too much of this going on in the first half.
Yeah.
It hadn't been there. A momentum killer, a drive killer. It hadn't been there, and boom, it rears its ugly head right when they've got a new fresh set of downs on a third down conversion. Instead, the sloppiness penalty is going to make it 3rd down and 8. One more chance at it.
4 of 11 are the Chippewas. Bocce and Spalding, 4 of 11 on 3rd down. Bocce and Spalding in the gun with Rush. Pressure coming. Getting, fumble the ball. Bullis team gets a takeaway. Harris Bennett recovers the fumble. Thompson and Simmons jarred it loose.
Boy, Chuck Bulla loves those 3rd down and long opportunities. An illegal shift gives him one more chance at it. And look at the jailbreak defense, the blitz coming, ball disruption. That's what they preach every single practice. Ball disruption ad nauseum. They get sick of hearing it. Chuck Bulla tells his guys, hey, a sack's going to get you an attaboy, but a turnover, that changes the game. In Syracuse with a game changer, the strip and the recover on 3rd and long when Central Michigan looks to be going into tie.
Wilson wants to take the shot. Cornelius there, and it is intercepted by Amari Coleman. Amari Coleman comes up with the interception. Just the 2nd pick of the fall so far in 3 ball games for the Chippewas.
Not bad for a sophomore running right down the seam. You see him pick up, and then you see what we've talked about on the other side of the ball with Syracuse. We're not going to be tight enough, but he was beat. He was beat off the step. He used his recovery speed, got back into position, and watching those receivers' eyes, hey, what happens? That ball's coming. You think that receiver's going to be able to pull it off where it's not there? Those eyes get big. Those hands come up. He snaps that head around, and there sits the ball. Huge turn of events.
Ball at the 29. Rush again. Throw pulled from the shoe tops by Spalding. And he circles around for about 8 yards. Jawan Dowles, redshirt freshman who played for Mike Rump Bates down in Sunrise, Florida. Makes the tackle.
Yeah, they got Spalding limping off. And
3rd time we've seen him come hobbling off.
boy, hey, how about the fingers there? Going down, that ball was basically on the turf. Went down and plucked it off the turf and turned it into a 7-yard gain. What looked for sure to be an incomplete pass. That's a big play, and they need to get him healthy and get him right back out there.
Hayes back in the ball game at the running back spot here for 2nd down and 3. Play clock winding down on Rush. And Hayes will have the 1st down, breaking the plane of the 39. Slayton, the tackle for the Orange. We're not seeing Martrez Walker today. We got word, James, that Walker, at halftime, we found out that Walker would not play today. Didn't hear about it before the game. It was at halftime that Jen was told that Walker's not going to play today. So we'll see Spalding and Hayes, potentially Roberson, a redshirt sophomore who was in there for a snap in the 1st half.
There you saw the shot of 52 running back off on 1st down. Samuels was banged up for Syracuse. Looks like he's okay now. These guys are banging. A lot of physical play going on right now.
Rush under siege and dropped again. Arciniega off the end spot. The 23-year-old redshirt junior from Sparks, Nevada got back there.
This Central Michigan front has been so good, and then you just let your guard down, and Arciniega just running right around the edge. He was touched, but it was almost like a boost in the back for a team that's played so well. Got to do it every single snap. Just when you let your guard down, they make you pay, and that's a huge stop for a guy who had 2 big sacks in the Wake Forest win. The come-from-behind win, great 2nd half for them last weekend.
Rush looking to throw again down the middle and dropped that time by Tyler Conklin, his 6'4" tight end. We've seen all three tight ends today for the Chips, and that time Conklin couldn't hang on with Franklin in coverage.
You want to go into a place like the Carrier Dome and win a football game, upset Syracuse. Gosh, you got to hold on to that Conklin. He's had a couple big plays already today, as has McCord. That one would have been about as big as you can get, a conversion on 2nd down and 17. Instead, now you got to work on 3rd down.
Orange goes nickel here. Front gets loaded up too, and now Cooper Rush a timeout.
Timeout, Central Michigan.
With 12:06 to play. We get a break at the Carrier Dome.
This is a full timeout.
And Rush and Bonamigo will talk. Likewise, the Orange will huddle around Scott Schaefer. Big 3rd down when we come back to the Carrier Dome. Third and 17 for Central Michigan, and it's 33. You see the time and score situation.
Watch up top. They've had success with the comebacks, but especially screen alert. Look, the middle of the field is completely empty right now with those guys walked up and blitz.
Rush to his right, incomplete. Closest guy there was Conklin. James, they retreated right before the ball got snapped to Cooper Rush. Let's check in with Jen.
Well, the guy pressuring Cooper Rush once again, one of them in there was Ron Thompson. Guys, I have been watching him. He caused the fumble earlier, and right before he did that, he hobbled off the field with cramps. Remember, we talked to Chuck Bull, the defensive coordinator. He told us Thompson was not in game shape yet. He's really been struggling because when his defense had to go back out there after the interception, you could just see him shake his head, try to pound the water, but he is struggling out there. Still fighting hard, though, getting to the quarterback.
He's pounding his headgear, too. He's one of 3 Michiganders on this team playing against some guys from his home state.
Esteem, fair catch of the ball at the 22-yard line. Boy, Calusi hammered that one sky high. Lucky it didn't burn up on re-entry into the atmosphere. 24-17. Eric Dungy shaken up in the first half. We'll see Austin Wilson, Zach Mahoney, and some of the crew enjoying the dinosaur barbecue yesterday. Back to the Orange after this.
ACC College Football is brought to you by Works. Leaves are falling. It's Works season. And Hyundai.
Back at the Carrier Dome, 4th quarter continues. Syracuse 24, Central Michigan 17. James Bates, Jen Hildreth, our outstanding ACC football crew, Dave Berenger, our producer, Gary Clemmer, our director, Wes Durham. Zach Mahoney in now and start this possession for the Orange off their 23. And he'll pitch it. And we'll get a flag here. McFarland, the back.
Holding. Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
Seamus Shanley. Just his 6th career game for the senior. There's Seamus.
This isn't the same Syracuse second half team that needed to outscore Wake Forest in their ACC opener last week, 17-0.
Yeah.
This has not been pretty play for the Orange after the break. Boy, they've got to clean it up a little bit. 1st down and 20. And after Shanley's hold, big senior can't make that mistake down there and cost his team.
Snap to Mahoney. He's going to throw. Little back door here to Strickland, and well played, Kayvon Walker. Or Kayvon Frazier into the backfield, James.
Frazier leads this team in tackles. He's a senior, and he plays like all the above. Plays like he's a tackling machine and plays like a senior. Sniffs it out from the get-go. And lucky, the Orange, that he didn't pick it off and step right into the paint for a touchdown because he was all over it. Going the wrong way if you're a Syracuse fan right now is it's 2nd down and 27.
Austin Wilson back in at quarterback. He'll throw here. Steps up in the pocket, in trouble, and Serpa will haul him down. It'll be a loss of about 3, maybe 4. Inside the 5-yard line is where big Blake Serpa The redshirt senior from Sugar Grove, Illinois, who missed the Oklahoma State game, had a sack last week against Monmouth.
Well, you hear him say coverage sack. Coverage sack is because there was nowhere to go down the field. You see all those bodies covered up, and it was good protection off the top for Wilson. But you can't expect anybody to hang on that long. Finally tucking it and going, and Wilson's dropped down, and it's another loss. This time 3 yards the other way.
Almost 5 minutes gone. They will just hand the ball forward. And that is McFarland. Hit by Tyree Waller, the linebacker, and 3 and out. Go the Orange, who have yet to pick up a first down here in the second half. And Riley Dixon's been awfully good for him today. Averaging 50 yards on 4 punts. And as Thomas stands deep, they'll need Dixon to have one of his best here. It's a wobbly kick. It'll hit on the Syracuse side of the 50 and take an Orange bounce. And he touched up at about the 39-yard line. 52-yard punt by Dixon. No return. Central Michigan a chance to tie the game when we come back. Well, offensively, it's been a struggle for Syracuse here in this second half. Central Michigan has dominated time of possession, but still trail a touchdown now with 9:15 to go, James.
Well, Chippewa fans, good news is Devin Spalding back out there as he left the field last series.
Play action by Rush. Gives ground. Here's Spalding. Been very dangerous on this little screen dump pass today and picks up about 4 yards there.
But good job by Rush not to panic, and a good job by Spalding, who's banged up. He's given it everything he has. The fight of this Central Michigan team is showing right there. And on this play, I mean, they end up getting 4 yards. It looks like you got pressure on your quarterback. He may go down. Incomplete pass at the very least. Instead, you've got a heady rush and a fighter in Spalding that finds a way to get you 4.
Hayes has come back in to spell Spalding. 2nd down and 6. And this is Hayes. Close to a first down. Maybe a yard shy of 48. Cordy and Hudson out of the Syracuse secondary.
Low coming right at you. Beamish and those guys up front have really done a good job. Looks like Ameti sealing it off there as well. Another senior from Lansing, Michigan. We'll bring in the I-backs. Here's Bocce in.
Yeah.
On 3rd and short now.
Converted linebacker. Tight set. Hayes gets the call. And boy, it's really going to depend on the spot. I think he might be short, James. He had to break the plane of the 49. We're looking at it right here almost at the midfield stripe at the Carrier Dome. Now remember, the yellow line is not official, James. Our good folks who provide that for us.
On top of it all, they'll go back and take a look at this and make sure that the spot is right as they bring the chains out. It was a good job defensively to stone him and stand him up. You know, down at the goal line, you're taught not to tackle him low because they can lunge in. Don't know if that was the plan, but it sure worked out. Look at this. Oh.
One blink short. Now, if you're Central Michigan, James, just school of thought here, okay? I know you got one link to the first down, but your defense has kind of held things off. Syracuse not having Dungy. They haven't been able to create any momentum. You still got 7.5 minutes left and 2 timeouts.
Well, like you're saying, watch the drawn offsides. Watch the hard count, but I think they're going for it. Bonamigo, he's not here to mess around, and they already went for it and converted a touchdown on 4th down.
Rush will hand the ball to Hayes. He gets the first down, and he does so on 2nd effort. Rodney Williams made the hit, But Jerry Ray Hayes gave him enough for the first down.
Well, Wes, you talked about it earlier. I talked about it at the beginning of the game. If the Central Michigan team is playing inspired here at the Carrier Dome today, you should know why. Those number 21 stickers in the back of their helmets are a reminder of Derek Nash, the player who passed away. Then their coach, John Bonamigo. Quarterback Cooper Rush talked to me about how inspiring his passion is as he's still recovering from his cancer treatments over the summer.
1st and 10, Rush looking to throw. Here's Hayes, middle of the field. 8, almost 9 on first down before Bennett makes the stop, Jen, for the Chippewa, or for the Orange. Bonamigo, James, 52 years of age. You said at the top, dream job. He's the first alum to coach Central Michigan since 1966.
A walk-on that earned a scholarship. As a player, he was the defensive scout team player 2 years in a row to earn that scholarship, and he never hesitated when it was 4th down. We're going for it, and that's what his guys love about him, is the fight and their head coach, John Bonamigo.
2nd down and 2. Spalding trying the left side, has the seam, and Devin Spalding has picked up the first down. Cordy the tackle for the Orange. And now Central Michigan able to extend the drive. Clock under 6 minutes.
Well, one guy who's not surprised that the fight is coming at this Syracuse Orange team is a guy who spent a lot of time in the MAC, and that's Scott Schaefer. He told us yesterday, I know exactly what we're going to get. These guys play with the chip on their shoulder, and the coaches coach with a chip on their shoulder, and they thrive on it. Guys like Brian Kelly, guys like Butch Jones, all these great names that have come through here, they make it work.
Schaefer was at Western Michigan and also at Northern Illinois in his coaching career. He knows from experience, as you see McCord, the tight end, holding another pass from Rush. And he was quick to say yesterday, hey, look, in my career, it's not just players, it's coaches. Guys trying to move up, they may interview for a job, doesn't work out. They end up playing that guy a little more steam in their stride game week. We're certainly seeing it from Bonamigo's Chippewas, who really had Oklahoma State kind of in a gamble game in the second half. James, in their opener, pounded Monmouth last week, 31-10, and now giving Syracuse all they want here in the 4th period.
Central Michigan, you got to take care of that football. Remember, this is a ball-hawking football team. They're going to try to rip it away. They're going to try to pick it right here.
Rush, thrown it away, interception. Franklin the pick. Zaire to midfield. Chuck Bullis defense gets their second takeaway.
All disruption, well, the disruption comes early on. The pressure coming late on a delayed blitz, and it forces Cooper Rush. He wanted to go to his guy. Had he gone to his intended target as he went forward, it would have been an interception by the other defender sitting right in front of the intended receiver, Mark Chapman. Instead, he tries to change his rhythm as he throws it behind him. And Zaire Franklin, the sophomore from Philly, sitting right there, and that's turnover number 9, forced by Chuck Bullis' defense. And what a big one with 4:33 left.
Touchdown lead. Mahoney's the quarterback. And this is Strickland trying to slip outside. Serpa stood him up. Rest of the Chippewas fall in. It'll be a loss of 4 on the play. And behind the chain goes Syracuse on first down now.
See, and this has nothing to do with, oh, shoot, we lost our quarterback, and, you know, Eric Dungy's in the locker room. Who knows when we'll get him? It's Austin Wilson, and we got to make do. It's not that it's a quarterback is throwing the ball off the mark or not running this offense. Right now, it's a defensive line for the Chippewas. In a defensive line, remember, that is without Stanisek. He got kicked out of the game. A leg injury to Osman left him at home. They're just beating up on the front for Syracuse right now. The offensive line has to help their quarterback out.
2nd down and 14. Mahoney to throw. McFarland juggled it, brought it back in, and will be measured to the original line in midfield. Nathan Ricketts really tagged him. And let's get to our Honda Generators power play. James told you at the top, 7 takeaways already in 2015 through 2 games. The Orange defense flying around today. Yeah, they've been gashed a little bit here in the second half, but they've been able to force 2 big takeaways. A sack fumble on Rush right here, and then the interception by Zaire Franklin a moment ago. That's our Honda Generators power play. 4 sacks for that Syracuse defense, and now 3rd and the full 10 off midfield. Clock approaching 3 minutes to go. Mahoney going to look to throw. And it's Lewis who stretches and then dives over, but will be ruled short at the 41 by Amari Coleman, was there to kind of knock him out of bounds. Lewis tried to run right to the end of the chain, James, and catch it on the curl.
You know, it's interesting because if he's on the goal line, we'll have to see it from another angle. It's probably a touchdown. You don't get that same luxury of reaching out. There's no plane.
And I think Scott Schaefer's waiting to see if they're going to take another look at this from the booth before he might burn a timeout and see. Play clock down to 4, and yep. And timeout or delay. No, they're going to take the delay and then punt it.
Play a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Well, here's the deal. Yeah, it's 4th and 1. Yeah, Syracuse fans, hey, Central Michigan went for it. Why can't we go for it too? We're big bad Syracuse. We're supposed to get this 4th and 1. But you have the lead. You're up 7. You're not the underdog coming in here trying to show your scrap in your fight.
Well, you said earlier, who's been one of the more valuable pieces in this second half for the Orange and maybe most of this game? The guy getting ready to punt it, right?
Absolutely. It's not the sexiest of calls, but it's the right call right now. Dixon needs to pin one more time.
Deflected by the Chips. And it will roll unbelievably inside the 10. No flag on the play. Dixon got it partially blocked by Central Michigan. That will get us to a timeout. Kayvon Frazier led the Chips in here. They got a hand on it, but 90 yards to tie for Cooper Rush and the Chippewas. Tie for Cooper Rush in Central Michigan.
How about the luck of Riley Dixon? Ball gets blocked and it's still down inside the 10.
Kroll the catch, and no more than the 15 for Jesse Kroll. Boy, he got knocked back pretty good. Good second and third effort by the Orange defensively.
Good job, Jawan Dowles, redshirt freshman from Sunrise. Doesn't take you long. That ball disruption important around here. He was ripping at that ball, trying to steal it away. Good job by Kroll to hang on.
2 timeouts left for Central Michigan. Second down and a short 5. Rush dumps, Spalding the catch, and he will get the first down. Just a step across the 20. Clock stops with 1:42 to go, and Syracuse has got a guy shaken up, and it might be John Raymond, big number 50, who has played just 12 games because of injury in the last 2 years. And so Raymond is shaken up, and that'll give John Bonamigo and his team a chance to have a bit of a conference. Scott Schaefer in the Orange will do likewise. He's on the headset upstairs with Chuck Bulla, his defensive coordinator.
Well, here's another look underneath, and Spalding cutting back. Can't see the injury coming in there, but you know, Spalding, the way he was twisted around, I'm surprised he's as banged up as he's been here in the second half. And it is Raymond that pops up and makes his way over the field. Now, there's 1:42 left, and Central Michigan has 2 timeouts, so that's plenty of time. You've got to be careful. This isn't a Central Michigan team that's really been able to run by anyone.
Well,
so you got to keep them in front and don't give up the big play, but you've got to roll the dice here and there and be a little bit aggressive, or they'll chip away, no pun intended.
100 seconds to go in the game. 1st and 10 for Rush. Caught by Kroll and pushed out of bounds by Dowles. Clock will stop with 1:31 to go.
And they do that just there. They bring bodies, they bring a blitz, and they couldn't get to him. Good protection in just enough time for Rush. And the poise of big Cooper Rush. Here they're walked up as opposed to the first couple plays. They were backed up like a prevent defense. Good job by Kroll of setting it down, and big pickup on 1st down.
Rush throwing, and what a catch. McCord, the tight end, who's put together back-to-back games now for Central Michigan. Big Ben McCord at 6'4" with a great grab out near midfield.
We saw Cooper miss that throw earlier. This time it is on the money. Perfect, and a good job of McCord to make sure he's got a foot down, gave himself enough space in between that sideline, and moving things right now, these guys from Central Michigan.
1st and 10. Cooper Rush, back foot throw. McCord holds on for the catch at the 32.
How long did that ball hang in the air? Ball disruption, getting after the ball. I thought for sure it was going to be picked. Cooper Rush is falling down as Syracuse brings the blitz, and McCord is sitting there waiting on it. Rodney Williams goes at the body. You'd like to see him bring that firm in front and knock it down.
Rush under duress, Spalding the catch. Circles back inside the 25 to the 24. A minute to go now at the Carrier Dome. And a timeout now taken by John Bonamigo. It'll be 2nd down and 2 from the 24. And Spalding.
It looks like from that shot that it might be cramps.
Yeah.
But how about the fight in number 25? That kid has played his guts out for this football team today. He can barely move.
Sophomore from Westland, Michigan, making plays all day.
There he is one more time, slipping out from the backfield. The pressure on Rush, not going down. And the first guy I would like to see after that initial lick, numbers for Spalding, because he's been hit many times and made many guys miss. Well, Chuck Bulla, who's going to make a big play for you right here, my man? Who is going to be that guy? 2 turnovers in the second half. That ball disruption that they worked so hard on. Can they disrupt it one more time and get this win?
Rush eludes the rush and threw it toward Hayes. Incomplete. It's now 3rd and 2. Dowells. Boy, the young redshirt freshman got around the shoe tops of Cooper Rush. 55 seconds left. Central Michigan, 1 timeout remaining. McCord, Willis to the far side. Kroll and Anthony Rice here to the near side. They're going to hand it to Hayes. Nothing. In fact, he lost a couple yards, James.
Well, that's the roll of the dice. Look at, they're all getting up limping. That time it's Stephen Clark. A screen or a draw can crush you if you have that blitz heated up and you don't maintain your gap responsibility. Here, everybody, not only are they hard charging, but they're in the right spots. They're in those right lanes. They bottle them up. And finally, they turn the tide around, and they get the Central Michigan team going backwards. What was 3rd down and short now becomes 4th down and 5 in the play of the game.
Tried to run it on 3rd and short. You know, James, they've thrown the ball short to intermediate as well as anybody we've seen a long time here today. And it's 4th and 5, which is seemingly right in their wheelhouse offensively for Central Michigan.
Well, remember, they had a 4th down near the goal line earlier in the game. Went for it and scored. Went for it on 4th down and short here just recently. Now here's one last chance at it. 4th down and 5. Know where those marks are. Know where they're trying to get.
And timeout will be taken by the Orange. By the way, Spalding had come back into the ball game.
This is their first charge
to replace
timeout.
Hayes.
This is a 30-second timeout.
Little chess game now with Morris Watts, the longtime offensive coordinator, several schools throughout college football, has worked in just about every major conference in his fine career. And Chuck Bulla, who one time played on the same squad where Watts was the offensive coordinator. Back in the day at Michigan State, Watts was the offensive coordinator, and Bulla was an outstanding linebacker for the Spartans in East Lansing. And all you had to do was get one look at wild man Chucky Batesy.
Oh, look at the blood there on the pants. Michigan State plays host to these Chippewas next week. Boy, would they like to go marching in there with a big bad win over an ACC team.
Oh, look at him getting after Vaughn Dunbar, the Hoosiers.
Somebody better account for number 25, flanked to the left of Cooper Rush right now.
To throw. Open McCord. And he has the first down. The tight end, Ben McCord, has had a whale of a day for Central Michigan.
Well, 6 catches coming into this game. He's already just about doubled last year's total receptions. And it's just too easy. Guys not on the same page in the Syracuse secondary. Talked about finding those chains. We'll find not only those chains, but guys as well.
No timeouts. 45 seconds left for Bonamigo's team to tie. Rush from the gun. Middle of the field. Incomplete. Intended for Rice. Orange got a hand up in the passing lane.
Again, they brought the pressure, and the pressure was picked up, rolling the dice a little bit. But it is Bennett going after that ball, finding a way to get upon that ball, and it was Paris Bennett, the sophomore from Detroit, that knocked it down. Otherwise, you've got a streaking Anthony Rice right across the middle, but it does stop the clock here with 41 seconds remaining.
Cole and Rice to the far side. Chapman has come in. He's the receiver with McCord. Rush looking to throw. Pressure coming. Arciniega, another sack. And Central Michigan now, remember, out of timeouts, 5th sack for the Orange. Chippewa's got to get lined up here.
Couple huge sacks by 5 in the second half. How about the motor coming off the edge here late in this game?
And the Orange take the timeout with 15 seconds left.
Timeout and a half. This is a 30-second timeout.
Oh, that's tough. Guys, you want to make sure you're on the same page. Here's inside. They bring in McCord trying to go one-on-one, and that's not going to happen. A guy in Arciniega, his journey to just be out there on the football field, you got to give him a little bit more than that in a game situation like this. Huge sack on Rush. And now you call a timeout. Man, you'd like to think that you're all set, that you can just let that clock run down and not give them a chance to talk it over, because they've drawn up some good plays here in the second half.
Jim?
Well, you mentioned the journey of Luke Arciniega, who just had that huge sack. He's the guy that's proved when things don't go the way you want, you stick with it. Long story short for him, he's the guy who started his college career in Nevada in 2010. He wound up here at Syracuse, has had hip reconstruction surgery on both of his hips. Now he's back out there making a huge play in this ballgame.
Orange may need another one now with 15 seconds left out of the timeout. Rush dropping back. Raymond pressures. Rush to his right. Throws for the end zone. And it is caught. Touchdown, Central Michigan. 27-yard throw. And Ben McCord, the tight end, does it again.
Wow, Wes, we just got on McCord for letting Arciniega run by him. And here, just enough time. Again, the protection up front, Doan helping out just enough. And going up and high-pointing that football. Ben McCord, heck, don't bring him into blocks. Send him out on those pass patterns. A huge 4th down pickup on this drive. And now a touchdown to tie it.
7 seconds left to go in regulation. And Central Michigan has tied it on a 27-yard touchdown pass from Cooper Rush to Ben McCord. It's a 12-play, 90-yard drive in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And the Chips have locked it up at 24.
That's Cooper Rush's mom, right? I saw her earlier. You think she's fired up? Oh, my goodness. Well, Chippewa fans, Syracuse fans like seeing a good game. It's been a lot more fun for the guys from Mount Pleasant here in the second half. That's for sure, as they come charging back and tie it at 24.
Well, Rush has always had a flair for the dramatic. You talked about the Bahamas Bowl a year ago, and he does it here with 7 seconds left to McCord. And now Strickland and Esteem will drop back. Calusi, I can't imagine, would kick this to Esteem. But you never know, right? They hang it up. And here is Brisley Esteem at the 1. Shoots back up the field and tackled at the 21 with 1 second left.
I guess that's why you don't feel bad kicking it. When you got guys staying in their lanes like that to drop them, you're all right.
Gary Jones the tackle. How about our C-Max performance play? Didn't have to go very far in the fouls to find this, James.
No, that clock's ticking down. Desperation heave and a receiver that wants it. Going up and high pointing that football. And on the same page with his junior quarterback, John Bonamigo, and his team fighting just like their head man, and they fought their way back to tie this game up and to take it into overtime here on the road in the Carrier Dome.
Off we go to overtime in Syracuse, New York. Third meeting all time between the Chippewas and the Orange, tied at 24. Back with the extra session after this.
National League.
Overtime here at the Carrier Dome with the Orange and the Chippewas of Central Michigan. Cooper Rush, a career-high 36 completions, 426 yards, 2 touchdowns, and this one in the final 2 seconds, James.
And it caps off a second half that saw Central Michigan hang up 168 yards to Syracuse, just 18.
We're back. Okay, guys, extra periods. It's like extra innings. We're going to toss the coin. The winner can choose to start on offense, start on defense, or he can choose the end of the field. If we go into a second period, the opposite team will have the first choice. You get 1 timeout per period, per inning. Any questions? Central Michigan, it's your choice. That's the head, that's the tail. You want heads or tails? Tails? Heads. His call is heads. We're going to let it hit the ground. It is a tails. Syracuse, you're going to start on defense. Central Michigan, you can choose the end of the field. Central Michigan will start on offense at that end of the field.
You know, interesting, as he explained it with the timeouts, he said per inning. And that's what it's like. It's like baseball as we go into overtime in college football, because it's like a top and a bottom of each inning. Now, things change a little bit if you get into that third overtime, because you can't just kick an extra point after a touchdown. You have to go for 2. And we heard about the timeouts there at the coin toss, and it looks like Syracuse, as they crank up a little Axl Rose, and welcome to the jungle here in the steamy Carrier Dome, looking for a stop. Scott Schaefer, the defensive mind, is going to send his defensive guys out there to stop first.
A win, essentially, for Syracuse, even before the first snap of the overtime, because you can put your defense back out there. Remember, the offense has really struggled here in the second half. No first downs for Schaef's Orange. Remember, Dungy knocked out of the ball game after 4 possessions in which they had scored 2 touchdowns and kicked a field goal in 3 of them. And the Orange were rolling, a 2-touchdown lead. And here in the second half, Spalding a 2-yard run. And then with just 7 seconds left, Cooper Rush to Big Ben McCord on a 27-yard throw on essentially 4th in the ballgame.
It's been nothing but drama if you haven't been with us throughout in the second half. Big third down pickups and some 4th downs as well.
Spalding to run the ball. Scoots to the outside. And will be pulled down at the 6. And 1st and goal, Winfield might have saved the touchdown for the Orange.
Well, it was also the edge up there where Winfield was stationed that wasn't set. Number 25 again does it. Look at him hopping through, and then he hits the ground. You know, if you do those plyometric drills, your feet hit the ground and you're coming up spring, and there's some spring in Spalding. And more importantly, there's been a whole lot of heart in him in this offense here in the second half.
Well, keep an eye on McCord, that big tight end, James, flexed off to the right with Chapman. They got 2 tight look here. They'll toss Spalding. Working right side, and he'll get a yard out of it. Zaire Franklin to stop.
Good job to clean that up. We've seen a couple times today on a touchdown earlier, actually, where you've got great flow from the defense, but they overrun it. There's nowhere back there to clean up that cutback. Zaire Franklin, the middle linebacker, taking the right angle, going at that near side hip and dropping him for a second down now.
They bring the big back Bocce into the ball game.
Now the flow's been good, and when it has been good, they've gone a hard play pass where they send everybody in motion and bring somebody back around. Did it on their first touchdown today. Be careful sneaking one out.
Here's Rush looking left, going to throw to Bocce. Makes the catch and then got knocked out of bounds. Did he get in before the pylon? And no, out of bounds at the 1. Corey Winfield, number 11, was the first guy in a navy blue jersey to get there.
This isn't a bocce ball. This is a bowling ball. Watch this. Bringing the load to Rodney Williams, and a great job by Rodney Williams to go meet him headgear to headgear and to force him out of bounds. Bocce was a freight train looking to find that paint. Instead, you make him snap it one more time and try to punch it in.
First overtime here at the Carrier Dome. Now Spalding in the game with Thomas, the other fullback, a power asset. They'll hand it to Spalding. Cannot get in. Thompson pulls him down. A power asset. They went with Spalding here.
First time we've seen it all game, and great penetration inside to force it out. And then Ron Thompson penetration as well from the end spot. Good job to avoid not just one, but 2 blocks. We talk about rolling the dice. You hop around blocks sometimes and you get burnt. That wasn't the case for 13. Heck of a play by the defensive end.
Essentially an extra point off the left hash for Evie. Kick away. And good. Tight angle for right-footed kicker on that hash mark. But Evie punches it through, and Central Michigan now has got to go get a stop against a team that has not achieved a first down in the second half.
In regulation of the second half, only 18 yards given up by Coach Bono's defense. Coach Scott Schaefer knows it as he and Tim Lester talking it over. Remember, they've got 2 options now. It was Eric Dungey's show, the freshman who had to come in for Terrell Hunt. He went down with the injury, what looked to be the hard shot to the head earlier, and Austin Wilson and Mahoney. It's been up to them, and it will be Mahoney to start.
A touchdown wins it for the Orange.
And you got to think personnel now. They like the option with Mahoney more so than Wilson.
Snap to Mahoney. Straight away, this is Fredericks. And he'll pick up about 7 or 8. Cannavalos, the defensive end, helping fill the loss of Joe Osman, their fine defensive end, make the stop there. And shaking up on the play, Tyree Waller, the strong side linebacker from Ypsilanti.
It was Waller that had the first hit there on him. It was run through, and you know, you talked about the other guys banged up. This has just been one after another. It's just been guys just fighting hard. And unfortunately, some of the injuries that go along with such a hard-fought football game. That's why we've got Mahoney in there, and not to mention Rob Trudeau, the center, banged up coming in. Here's another look at it. And falls on the back of the lineman's legs.
And Waller still in a good bit of pain, it looks like, from hip top.
You know, reminded, we talk about Eric Dungey going out, and they'll take Waller off the field. It was Stanizek who was Osman's backup. Osman back home injured, leg injury, didn't make the trip. So the defensive end, Stanizek, he was the one that delivered the head-to-head shot. As we look at the rest of the way, Scott Schaefer certainly not worried about the future. He's worried about immediately right now. But it's been very much depleted defensive front for Central Michigan that's fought.
A steam to the far side. Frederick stays in the running back spot. Pistol set for Mahoney. Second and short. They read it, and Fredericks gets knocked down. And Tavalos again. What a great play that was, James.
Boy, heating it up. You're reading front side. You shouldn't care too much about that backside, but when they're coming this hard and this fast, somebody better take number 90 into account. And we talk about those defensive ends. That's a backup defensive end that's filling in there nicely. Listed behind Serpa coming in and dropping for a big loss on second and short. Now it's third down and medium.
Big play by Canavelos. Redshirt sophomore, now 3rd and 5. Field goal to keep it going. Touchdown to win it. The throw and the catch. This is more. It'll be 1st and goal. Pulled down shy of the 5 at the 6. First catch of the day. And the first down of the second half. And overtime for Syracuse. Kendall Moore, the junior from Chicago.
That's what Moore does, isn't it? Remember, it was his big catch in overtime early last year to beat Villanova on the fake field goal. Oh, 3rd down and 5. And they move the chains. They're going to try to win it right here.
Mahoney. Pistol set again. Single receiver look for Syracuse. Hands to Fredericks. To about the 3. They're trying to find, I guess, the right formation to attack this Central Michigan front, James.
Well, when it was Dungy out there, it was this read option that was working against him. And here you hit him with the dive, and it's been not Austin Wilson, but Mahoney, who's done a better job of the backup since we've lost Dungy, to run this option. And so they're just going to ride with number 16 here on 2nd and goal.
In motion, Lewis. Here's the option to Fredericks. Trying to get to the end zone. Touchdown, the Orange win. They'll take another look here on all scoring plays.
Misdirection there to send a couple backers the other way with Lewis, and then just the quick pitch. And how about the job that Sean Avant does? Holding on to his block down the field. Amari Coleman was the defensive back. He locked on him and would not let him go. Here he is right there, going to pave the way. And ultimately end up getting in the way of a Tim Hamilton who's going sideline to sideline trying to knock him out. But a great job.
No video evidence, I don't believe, to overturn this. Called a touchdown on the field. One angle, the knee goes down, but you can't see the ball. The other way, you can't.
The ruling on the field of a touchdown is under further review.
Play now does go to review.
You know, Steve Ishmael, who's left the game with another injury. Hopefully they'll have him by next weekend. Watching him block today was a lot of fun. These receivers for Syracuse, you know, you expect that out of Paul Johnson's guys. They're at Georgia Tech. That's what you sign up for. You know, they're starting to run more and more option here with Tim Lester, and they're starting to expect these receivers to block.
The ruling on the field stands.
3-0 for the first time in 24 years. And after they gave up a pass play to get it to overtime, Schaefer's team finds a way today, James.
Well, they certainly did. It wasn't pretty, but 3-0 for the first time in a long time sure feels good. Well, you continue to pray for your team, Coach John Bonamigo. You and your team came in and really played your guts out today. Thank you for what a great game.
Zach Mahoney on an option play at Jordan Fredericks. The game winner for the Orange in overtime at the Carrier Dome.
Discover Can-Am's wide range of industry-leading vehicles.
And he's in. Touchdown, South Carolina. It's Nick Chubb to the end zone. And here come the Georgia Bulldogs. Kelly scores. What a start for the Rebels. Henry breaking free. Touchdown, Alabama.
Tonight at 6, South Carolina, Georgia. Then at 9:15, Ole Miss, Alabama on ESPN.
Colts at 8:15 Monday on ESPN.
They're coming. They haven't forgotten. Their mission is clear. This is your warning. Their sights are set. They're going to try to take what's ours. Are you ready?
Welcome to Sports Center. We are men wearing makeup, talking about sports. Let's turn our attention to the National League.
Well, you get your money's worth today in Central New York, don't you, James? 30-27, the Orange win it overtime.
Your money's worth and then some. And it was the unlikely Mahoney with the pitch and the option. Good blocking on the edge to seal the deal. And a celebration. And, hey, Syracuse fans, you got one of the top teams in the nation coming into the Carrier Dome next weekend. You better get out here and support your Orange. They're playing some good ball at 3-0.
Well, the status of Eric Dungy will be a subject throughout the week as they prepare for LSU. We're headed to Chapel Hill next Saturday. Larry Fedora's team's picked up 2 straight wins. They'll welcome Delaware to beautiful Kenan Stadium. For James Bates, Jen Hildreth, our producer Dave Berger, our director Gary Clement, our great crew, Wes Durham. So long from the Carrier Dome on a winning Saturday for the Orange.